I hope Spilo looks extra submissive and breedable today, Prej.
I'm obese, shoot me in the belly.
Look at all the space I'm creating, everybody.
Bad monkey, bad. Oh, you got you baited so hard. I don't think I can handle any more of this bot gameplay.
Spilo.
Okay, I guess a relatively short stream today. I only have time to do the typical 3 VOD reviews, and then we're moving on from that. Good to see everybody today. Hello, Locky Cager, Neo Tifa. Yes, you were indeed first. Discord, Ping Gang, Nodlin. Hello, good to see everybody. I hope Spilo looks extra submissive and breedable today. Prage. Well, you're half right. Let's get started here. There's really not a whole lot to say. I do have some stuff going on behind the works, a couple of ideas for some projects we're going to be working on. There's going to be a life update thing, I think, next week. I believe there'll also be a couple of small announcements. I'm helping a couple of teams out behind the scenes. Not Overwatch League before you guys get too excited. Still, like I said, I'm not planning on going to Overwatch League next season. I'm not even planning on helping any contenders teams or anything like that full time, but I'm going to be helping a couple of the teams behind the scenes. So that might get announced. I'm not sure. Wait, where is the fresh young host? What does Spilo do? I've been bamboozled. That is so funny and unique and clever, Chase Nave. Wow, I'm just absolutely flabbergasted that somebody could be absolutely so witty with your response. Could not have seen that one coming at all. But yeah, we have just honestly just nothing crazy today. We're going right into the coaching streams. I'm trying to think if there's anything crazy, new, or fresh. Well, I hope everyone had a good Thanksgiving. Obviously not streaming on that past Thursday because Thanksgiving, duh. True story, I accidentally booked a coaching session on Thanksgiving because I just wasn't thinking. I just autopiloted and was booking people in. I was like, oh, wait, that day should not be taken. We actually had Thanksgiving at my house, which was kind of fun. Had my whole family here. Most of my family here. My family in Florida wasn't able to make it for obvious reasons, but yeah. You coaching work, or was that just the one time? That was just the one time. No, Cager is coaching work. But yeah. Yeah, Cat, somewhere back there. We had a turkey bowl, Thanksgiving American flag football game, which was fun, except I busted my lip. Took an elbow. You can see it right there, but it's fine. It is what it is. Okay, I guess we can get started then. Let me make sure that we're ready. I cracked. I'm ashamed of myself. That's a whistle with. True story. I was going to bed the other night, several weeks ago, lying in bed, about to fall asleep, and I was screwing around, just messing, like, whenever I go to bed with Pepper, we're always, like, making stupid jokes and, like, honestly acting like children. And I was just making stupid voices, and I did that noise, and this is a true story. She stayed up, kept me up for like 20 minutes trying to do that because she couldn't do whistle voice, and so she got mad, and so she sat there for 20 minutes, and I'm sitting there in the pitch black, and she's sitting there next to me going, I'm like, oh my gosh. Adult behavior, by the way. Okay, I think we're good to go. Let's get started. One of the more odd segues I've ever had. Hey, how's it going?
Hi.
How are you?
Pretty good. Is my audio okay?
Your audio is not only okay, it's exceptional. So you were good to go.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah, you were good to go.
Yeah, I am currently in a hotel room on Thanksgiving break because everything has gotten.
Well,
it's been interesting. I've barely had any time to play the last few days, but I got a few games in yesterday. At like a random gaming lounge. So
good.
You know, we'll take it.
I'm glad to hear. Okay, so I'm looking right now at this replay code, and I'm gonna try and guess which one is you. I don't know anything about the hero you play or anything, so don't tell me. I'm assuming that you're not mommy, and I'm gonna.
What?
Well, okay, maybe. I assume you're also not breed me.
No way.
Panda Squad 7, maybe. Yeah.
That's my duo. That was my duo.
Okay. Is it Helon?
Yeah.
Ah, see? I told you I'm good. All right.
Not bad.
Winston. Is that what we're playing the whole game? No. Joy Junker Queen?
Yeah.
Really? Oh wait.
My Junker Queen is good, but it was mostly for stall.
Oh man. Wow, you really disappoint me. That's okay. Winston's still fun.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. Just for a split second, I was really excited, but well, that's just ruined my day. That's okay. What rank are you in this VOD?
Currently Masters 1, but I hit GM Overwatch 2 or Overwatch 1.
Okay. We'll just put as Masters for now, but let me update the VOD. Commands, edit, VOD, Masters, Winston. Delightful. Okay, we should be good to go then. All right, so start us off. Hello, why did you get coaching?
I have been hard-stuck Masters for, probably like 2 years on PC.
Mm-hmm.
And like I did just get past Masters on like the last season of Overwatch 1. God. But like I want to be pushing past that because I think I can hit like 4-3, 4-4 level if I really put my work into the game.
I think so too. Okay. Do you can get, so you said in your forum it says why you hit certain roadblocks. That's a pretty important word to use because it sounds like you like you said you've been stuck for 2 years. What do you think those roadblocks are? I mean, we'll get to this a little bit more later, but what do you think those roadblocks are? Do you have any guesses?
I need to like start self-voting. I just don't really know how to, and that's been a problem for me for a while. But like my mechanics are really solid, I think. But also my macro needs work for sure.
I mean, we put that as well, the game sense, which kind of is macro. Okay, fair enough. Yeah. So we want to get that, and that I assume if we look at your goals, short-term goal, learn how to effectively self-VOD, long-term try for contenders. Okay, so contenders, that's awesome, cool stuff, wonderful, great, dandy. How to effectively self-VOD? You touched on that just a second ago. Have you tried? How did it go, and what do you feel like was unsuccessful about it?
I've tried. I just haven't been able to like actively engage with it enough, I think. Like I get bored after
Huh.
5 minutes and I'm just
Huh.
like I want to jump into the game.
Fair enough. Yeah. I mean, self-VOD review is boring when you don't have a super charismatic and good-looking man screeching at you from the other end of the mic. So I understand 100%. So when was the last time you tried, and was it really just the boredom? What did you end up finding anything? What were your goals at the time? How often did you try?
I think a few months ago I was trying to like actively do it at least twice a week, but I couldn't find. I was like, yeah, I think I made the right play, or I think my mechanics were good enough there, and my Ana was in fucking Narnia, 1v1ing a tracer.
Right. Okay. So
And that just makes me like more angry at my team than my play
okay.
sometimes, even though I know I'm cheating.
Okay. Well, here's the good news. Well, this actually have two sets of good news. One is we'll help you with your self-VOD review a little bit. Two,
Yep.
self-VOD review is not what's keeping you hard stuck masters.
Oh yeah, I know that.
I mean, I know you know that, but it will help, yes, but there's obviously going to be, I assume, more. Well, I wouldn't say more low-hanging fruit, but other low-hanging fruit as well that we can be focusing on. Okay, so let's look at your actual training here. So we talk about your goals. Now let's look at your training. 4 to 5 times a week, double blocking. Wow. So you were scrimming 8 times a week?
It's more like 6, but some weeks I've pushed it to 8.
Okay. That's still really good, especially for, no offense, somebody who's in Masters 1. You must have an exceptional team.
I play higher than a master's level.
Well, I'm sure. That's usually how scrimming works. Do you just play with like a really good team that manages to scrim that often? Do you play with multiple teams? How does that work? How do you get 6 scrims a week?
Have 2 teams plus ringing.
What experiences are those teams? How have you enjoyed it? And when did this start, by the way? When did this start? I always like delving into team.
Oh, it started probably, I would say about 3 months ago. I have one team who I like absolutely love. We're all like good buddies, and we play at about the 4-1 level.
Yep.
And then I have a team full of majority grinders who play at the more like 4-2, 4-3 level.
So a little bit more intense. Okay, fair enough. And what made you start 3 months ago? What got you into it? Was it just something you've always wanted to do? You just finally said, screw it, do it? Or what happened?
I have always been scrimming, but it was less consistent and more just like twice a week or something. And I was like, I actually want to get good at this game. And I was just like, okay, fuck it. I'm doing this amount of scrims. I want to actually learn macro, but I've been more focused on like getting my comms up. And I think my comms are really solid now. I just need to understand macro and not when to like fucking int 24/7 because I feel like I do that sometimes.
Okay. So you do feel like you understand your communicational side of things. What have you improved at communicationally? Like, what are you doing now that you weren't doing before, or what do you feel like you're really strong at communicationally wise?
My fight planning is really solid, and before it was just like I didn't know how to fight plan, but now I've been doing that.
Now, I'm gonna stop you right there. That is ironic, considering what you just told me. You just said that, my macro is not great. So how on earth are you fight planning? Do you just are you saying my ult game is really strong, but I don't understand like my role on the hero all the time, or like what?
I don't know how to engage.
Okay.
I know what to use, but I don't know how to engage properly.
Got it.
I think that's the problem.
So you're like, when we have this ult, they have this ult. This is the best plan, but I have no idea how to actually execute that plan.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. Okay. And then what else communication? Because you're talking pre-fight, between fight. What about mid-fight?
Mid-fight, I've always been screaming at people, which seems to work pretty well.
Give me a good example.
Oh god, I've tried to copy some like infected comms, which has helped.
The prodigy, yes.
Yes, Dude, he's younger than me, and it
Yeah,
pisses
yeah.
me off.
I'm helping coach a team that he's also helping coach right now.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Anyway, could continue. It's kind of coincidental.
Yeah. I've just been like looking at more American and European streamers and just trying to like see what they do and try to match that level of intensity.
Yeah.
Ready for battle.
Why do you think the intensity is important?
It allows your team to be more aggro, and it's like if this guy is like full in screaming at us to go in, then we should probably follow him.
Okay, okay. Are you like that like most of the time, that's level of intensity?
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay. Does your team generally follow up off of that intensity consistently? Like, do you think like that's in general, like everyone's able to consistently follow up?
I think it feeds off, like they feed off each other pretty well. When we are like rolling, we are doing really well. We're fight tracking, winning, but like when like it gets a bit hard, sometimes I start to like shut down and get a bit more quiet.
Why is that?
Because I'm trying
Tired?
to think.
Okay.
No, not tired. I'm trying to like think actively about how we should engage more, which I think sometimes we just don't have like another person who can kind of step up and be that loud guy. So,
Have you given or encouraged your teammates to step up in that? Have you given them space to?
God, not really.
Okay, something to consider. Because like you're talking about how you sound like you're all in when you know exactly what to do, and then when you don't know what to do, you're completely nothing, right? So like you said, that could be a problem when you run into a difficult time. That's somebody else's opportunity to step up. But if that hasn't been encouraged in some way, shape, or form, then yeah, you're going to have difficulties. One other little detail I'll point out, just to keep in mind, is if your intensity is always turned up to 100, then that starts to become noise. So just be very careful about how you handle that. What I would prefer is you're a very hype, engaging guy who keeps it relatively high energy, but you save that full blast for when it's necessary.
Okay.
The best way of thinking about it is like if you grow up living on a beach, if you grow up living in New York City, you're going to start getting used to the noise. Noise could be loud, noise can be quiet, noise can be medium, but you eventually, your mind literally tunes it out. You kind of see what I'm saying? So the danger is that if this is a team that you consistently scrim with and you are always one volume loud 24/7, that loudness no longer matters. You kind of see what I'm saying? It's good to keep the energy high, but I would always try and save a tier of when it's really important and really necessary that your team is able to go aggressively, that you're able to turn it to that notch, so then it no longer is the same. It is something else you've attracted, you've gotten your teammates' attention when you most need it. You kind of see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I see that.
If everything's an emergency, then nothing's an emergency. Okay? But I love the high comms, the high energy. That's always a good thing. So we need to work out how you need to engage macro wise. You said your old economy, your old understanding is pretty good. Does that for sure feel
I would say so.
Okay. And then comp when you have free time. Let's talk about that. So what does that mean realistically? Comp when I have the free time. Like really truly what does that mean?
I try to get about 8 to 12 hours a week.
Okay. I don't care about what you try to do. What do you do?
Yeah.
Respectfully.
Probably about 7 to 10 hours a week.
Okay. 7 to 10 hours a week, and then you're scrimming about 6 to 7 hours a week.
It's a pretty good amount.
It's okay. It's okay. Because if you break it down, actually, you got 6 hours of scrims. Let's even say 7 hours of scrims, and let's say 10 hours of ranked. Okay.
Yeah.
17 hours means 2 3/7 of an hour, a little under 2.5 hours every day. Not bad, but it's going to be, I will say it would be tough to get to GM off of that.
Yeah.
So if that can be, obviously scrims, you are at the mercy of the team. So let's ignore that. The rank though, if that could really truly be 12, it's going to add up. It's going to add up.
Yeah.
So just something to keep in mind, especially considering we're not talking about you getting into Plat or Diamond or Masters. We're talking Grand, Master, 5, 4, and so on. And ultimately contenders. And I can tell you right now that this time schedule ain't going to work for contenders. You're never going to get contenders like this. So what I would recommend is not changing your schedule to match a contender schedule of, not 2 and 3/7, but 4 and 3/7 or 5 and 3/7 a day. Let's not do that just yet. Let's see if we can get that 2 and 3/7 to 3 per day on average.
Okay.
See how that goes. Do you feel burned out? You still enjoying the game? Okay. Then 3.5. And if not, stay there. Make that a positive experience, and then we'll move on from there. You kind of see what I'm saying?
Yep.
You'll either find what works for you, or you'll find that this is where I'm happy at. I don't need to worry about contenders, but I do want to be able to scrim at a GM level or at a higher GM level than you already are. Okay. One other thing I will ask about your schedule as well is comp when you have free time sounds like it's a little bit hit or miss for you. And I also want to know when that comp is in terms of relation to your scrims. Is it before scrims? Is it after scrims? Is it 4 hours on weekends and then nothing for 2 or 3 days in a row? How does it usually break down, and when is it placed?
I tend to do, I would say, about 3 hours on weekends, and then maybe just get in like 2 games before scrims just to warm up every weekday.
Okay, so 3 hours each weekend day?
Yeah, about.
Okay, so three Saturday or 3 Sunday, something like that. Okay, and then a couple of games leading up into scrims. Okay, you see, the funny thing is if that's really truly what you're able to maintain, that's really not too bad. You're able to hit it on every single day, but you need to hit
Sometimes
it.
I'm not able to hit it.
Right. And then those are the variances that we need to try and target and fix if possible. We would like for you to not have any days where you're not playing any ranked, that you're at least playing some ranked, even if it's just a few games every day. I will say that getting 3 hours of ranked on the weekend is good. That's not bad. Obviously, there's not a massive variance in your playing from day to day to day, and that's what we like to see. What I hate to see is play 2 or 3 hours Monday through Friday total, and then I play 12 hours Saturday, Sunday. You know what I'm saying? That's extreme. Yeah. I don't think that's the case for you as much, so that's good. Okay. Looking through the rest of the form. Do you have any questions so far?
No, not really.
Okay. Lower end on the sleep count as well. I don't know how much that is affected by health or work or whatever, but obviously
it's school. It's all school.
Okay. 5 to 7 is tough. If we could make that 6 to 7 in one way, shape, or form, that would just be absolutely lovely. 5 to 6 is a massive percentage increase. Massive, as you know. So, okay. Hero pool. Let's talk about one more thing here, because this is a Jackson Pollock you've got on your hero pool here.
Oh God.
What is this? Monkey, Ryan, Doom, Ball, Diva, Zarya, Junkrat, Zen. I'm just kidding. No, you've got Noah's Ark. Okay, so how's that going for you?
I have been running into a shit ton of one tricks, and so I've just been having to try and just flex to a bunch of different tanks in order to at least try to win my ranked games.
Give me an example.
I mean, this game's a good example. I played Monkey for majority of it, but I had to switch Diva because their Doom was the best fucking player I've ever seen, and I tried JQ and I think Orisa. I was just throwing shit at the wall.
Yeah, that seems to be the theme with your hero pool for sure. Because even if you were to say, "Oh, I run into a lot of one tricks," okay. Remember, does Diva do okay into Doom? Well, yeah, okay. How about Orisa? Yeah, it does pretty good into Doom too. Okay. So then why Junker Queen? You say, "Oh, my Junker Queen's really good." Okay, well that complicates things, right? And then, I'm playing Zarya, but why would you ever play Zarya when you have the ability to play...
I did that with Zarya meta, and
okay. Yeah. You've heard me talk about dynamic hero pools, yes?
Yeah.
Okay. That's something that you can implement, but this isn't a dynamic hero pool. This is a trail mix, okay? This is not good. Monkey, Ryan, Doom, Ball, Diva, Zarya, Junkrat, no. Or Junker Queen, no. If you want to this meta, lean into Monkey, Diva when it's needed, and then I play Junker Queen whenever I can because I love the hero. Okay.
Yeah.
But this is disgusting. This is disgusting, especially for somebody who's not even playing 3 hours a day. Talk holy dilution, Batman. Like this is gross. Especially talking about heroes like Doom Ball that are like ridiculously hard mechanically.
Yeah, I was mostly a ball one trick in Overwatch 1.
Right, and
but
obviously
I've been trying to expand my hero pool.
Right, so obviously he's trash right now, and if you don't want to play the trash hero right now, okay, then you need to expand and then sit with wherever you're at. Like it's okay to play 3 heroes, I think, right now, but that needs to be it. And then patch change, meta shifts, and you want to play another 3 heroes, and you want to play ball again, okay, something's got to go. You know, it's much better to shift your hero pool on a month-to-month basis and actually really grind those heroes than it is to just have a general dilution, because the problem is that you're never going to train any of those heroes with enough intensity to actually get better at that hero. See, it's better for you it would be literally better for you to 2-trick tanks on a rotating 3-week, 4-week cycle than it would be for you to play all the tanks like once every couple of days. You know what I'm saying? Okay. That will never be enough to actually improve at the tanks. And it is better to like grind, build up a level of competency at ball, and then not play him for 2 or 3 months, and then come back. That level of competency will still be higher than the diluted lukewarm crap that you're doing right now, to be honest with you. Does that make sense? Okay. Yeah. And you have to find a balance between what your team needs in scrims, what the meta is and ranked, and then obviously what you just like playing. Those you need to find a way of balancing those 3 variables. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay, that's all I've got there. Last thing we talk about, we've already touched on a little bit of this, but once more, what do you feel is holding you back? And you say game sense and how to play certain compositions. Mechanics are top, but I shut my brain off a lot. Please finally explain this to me in case there's anything that you haven't like fully detailed out to me on this particular point.
I think that's pretty accurate. Sometimes I do turn my brain off, but I still keep the comms up. Mm-hmm. My brain is just like kind of used to it at this point. Okay. So the brain just turns off. Give me an example of that, like either in scrims or rank that you can remember, or just give me a theoretical situation which you know has happened before. Just like we are like steamrolling a team, or it's pretty close, and I just like stop paying attention after a certain point where it's just like, well, it's like driving a car. You know, sometimes it just shuts off. Yeah, they call that highway hypnosis or whatever, right? Okay, so finding ways to like keep you engaged, and to be honest with you, that might be a problem, but it might be the problem that when your brain shuts off, what you tend to autopilot is just stupid, and so we need to prevent you from autopiloting as much as we possibly can, but also make the autopilot better. Like if you have a 15-year-old brand new driver autopiloting and somebody who's been driving for 15 years with a perfect driving record, I know which one I'd rather be autopiloting me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So we need to fix the autopilot, but we also need to make sure that the autopilot is actually much better in quality as well. Okay. Do you have any other questions? No. Okay. I think I'm good. Let's do it. If you do, just holler. Let's get into this. Got it. Okay, so Masters Winston and the greatest player of all time playing Doomfist, Mommy. Delightful. What is Monkey good at? Look at the comp. What do you want to do? Probably just hard engage, play back for Ana, and then play for our Sojourn head row. Sure. Who do you play to hard engage on if you were to hard engage? Hanzo. Why? He has less mobility than the entire rest of their team. Why is that relevant to you? Because I should be looking to either force resources or to like distract from their dive. Okay. Would not jumping a Sojourn also distract them? Yeah. Okay. Why would you still prioritize the Hanzo over the Sojourn though? It's more killable. Why is more killable matter? Because he's going to get Mercy Beam and he's not going to die, right? Yeah. I'm just being a general nuisance. I want you to explain this thought process all the way through to me. When you are more of a kill pressure on when you are more able to kill something, why is that more relevant even if you don't get the kill? You can force Suzu. Yes. Which is a big cooldown. Would you what else can you force besides Suzu? We just talked about it. What are the Mercy going to do? Mercy Beam that forces her to stop healing the Doomfist.
Sure.
So the Doomfist can die.
What is the Hanzo going to do when you land directly on top of him?
Storm Arrow.
Storm Arrow. Okay. What else is he going to do? How is he going to feel mentally? Let's put it that way.
He's gonna be like fucking quaking.
Yeah, he's going to be nervous. He's going to be panicked. He's going to be not calm. That's why Sojourn is so strong. Obviously, you know this. Is because she just presses the button, chill as can be, doesn't affect her aim at all. She just sits back, farms you, and then she's just going to kill your team. Hanzo is scared. So for you, it's all about what is the most amount of pressure that I can put out without compromising my ability to live that engage. And for me, I agree. It's probably going to be the jump on the Hanzo. So let's go. Like the right click. Hey, all right. Nice job. Looks so far so good, right?
Yep.
What's your priority with this jump? This is like a great question to ask here.
To force their Sojourn off this angle.
Right.
So it's pretty powerful for them.
You're never going to get the kill with this, right?
Yeah.
So what's the mindset with how you position right now?
I should be playing for cover and then waiting for a bubble to get back.
The only reason I would say that this would be a risky jump would be that you know that you're only going to force your shift, and then will you be able to play cover here? Maybe, sort of. It's going to be hard, right?
Kind of. Yeah.
But you were able to, so it ends up working out. But you just have to be very careful. Okay, let's keep watching. Was that right click into a shot there?
Yeah.
Okay. Not sure why you dropped, to be frank, but okay. Good. Shirley. Nice. This was silly. This is very, very silly. I mean, obviously, for obvious reasons, right?
Yeah.
Doomfist was... I mean, even in Overwatch League, was primarily played as a Winston abuser early on last season. When you were playing in the Winston meta, people would play Doomfist just to perma-bully your monkey, because he wasn't going to go hard engage on your Ana because the sleep dart risk was too high. So he'd just permanently punch your monkey out of bubble and just screw him up constantly. This right here is a great example of why this sucks, right? You die for essentially nothing when this Hanzo was a free kill, and then you would not have died for that jump either. You gotta see what I'm saying? So
yeah.
As lame as it feels, your Genji died to Railgun. You trolled by jumping the Doomfist. That's really it. Go next fight. I think everything else looks relatively reasonable. Charge punch, tragic. What do you think?
Not the best, because they were able to peel out of it. But I did take a good amount of space.
Right. Well, I mean, that's the thing. Is like, why would you say not the best if this is if that's exactly what you intended to do with the jump? What do you mean not the best?
I guess it didn't force that much.
I mean, well, let's actually wait and see. I mean, look where they were, where they are now. You see?
Yeah.
Now, can you stabilize from this position and reset up for your next jump?
Yeah.
Is that Sojourn a lethal threat to your backline anymore?
No.
Does that Kiriko have an angle to shoot your team?
Kinda.
Does that Kiriko... Well...
That new angle.
Right. It's fine. It's okay. As long as you don't get punished for this and can't get spammed out, and it looks like you have decent cover to avoid that, we're good.
Yep.
Because if I ask you where else would you have jumped... Let's look. Where else would you have jumped?
Probably on the Hanzo again.
Okay. What's the problem with jumping on the Hanzo? Or more so a problem with jumping on the Hanzo?
The Doom can go after me, and the Sojourn's looking at me.
Right.
So she can break bubble.
Right. To me, it's less about jumping on the Hanzo is worse, because we already talked about this is the best jump that you can get. But to me, this location feels more resetable. Do you kind of see what I'm saying? Than this location. Yeah. If I jump here, I don't know if I can stabilize and hide. This one, I know I can. Do you see what I'm saying? So that's important because that's going to affect who you jump. So right now, Hanzo's the best target, but this is the best location. So you're going to choose the best location even though it doesn't have the best target because you can reset, get your cooldowns back, and go again. Whereas if you go here, you would have probably died for it. Did you see my tanking is like deadlifting video I made a little bit a while back?
No, I don't think I have.
Basically, the mindset is this: if you push too hard with tank, you die. If you don't push hard enough, you don't do anything. So it's all about how hard can I push without reaching the breaking point of death. If you jump here, you might die. You would have done a lot, but you would have died for it. That's bad, right? That's where you have to kind of find the stress test, right? Don't overextend. See, like right there. Did this jump do a lot?
No.
I mean, that's not true. Look.
Okay. It forced Hanzo out.
Forces Hanzo out. Forces a lot of panic. Mercy's beam. Hanzo lunges out. Hanzo almost dies. Kiriko has to ends up pocketing. Like, it does a decent amount, but you died for it. Why did you die for it? Not to be stupid here, but why did you die for it?
I didn't have bubble.
You didn't have bubble. It's really that simple. You jumped the right target at the wrong time. That's it. So for you, at least in ranked, the first 2 fights, there's been nothing really complicated about what's gone wrong. And you're talking about like the Doomfist dominating the lobby. That may be so.
That comes later.
Okay. I am very excited. Now let's take a look at this jump. We talk about the 2 factors you need to consider when you make a jump are how much pressure am I going to put out, and am I going to be able to survive and reset for this jump, right? Those are the only 2 things that matter. How much pressure did this jump put out on the enemy team?
Less than the last jump. A
lot less than the last jump. And then I ask you another question. How safe is this jump in terms of being able to restabilize and not take any damage?
If I remember correctly, there isn't much cover from Sojourn Hanzo besides the stairs. Yeah.
So this is just a straight up bad jump, isn't it?
Yeah.
You don't do much with this outside of force TP. It's going to force your bubble, and it's also going to be really ugly to stabilize from. You're just going to have to like literally just drop here, and you'll just use your bubble for really nothing, right?
Yeah.
So this is the worst case scenario. This is no longer aggressive play. This is no longer defensive play. This is a jump that does very little pressure and provides a lot of risk for you. Gross.
Yeah.
So what would be the better alternative? Find me a better target, find me a better location.
Same jump as last time.
Yeah, I mean, really, truly, same jump as last time. You could do the exact same jump here, jump to Sojourn, she shifts back in. You have the opportunity to either drop here, to drop out here, to whatever. You might not even need to bubble. That's the funny thing. And then you could reset, do the exact same jump that we did in the Hanzo, but this time we'll do it with bubble, or maybe we even go from underneath and jump from here. Do you kind of see what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
Gross. And let's see what happens. Do you get punished for it? Yes, you do. And you've done nothing. And the funny thing is let's look at the Sojourn POV. Because your team is trying to take space with you at the same time. They've watched my videos. Why is this allowed to happen?
I kept her on that angle.
You let her stay. You let her stay. You don't care about Kiriko being on this angle here. There's more concerning heroes and more concerning angles. Now, if this was a Hanzo here, I might agree with this jump. Because Hanzo, for crying out loud, can't stay here. He's going to kill your team. But for crying out loud. What's the most pressure can I put out? What's the most pressure that I can relieve from my team? Thankfully, Genji's just deadlifts you, and yeah.
Yep.
No. Turn around. Zone this. You see what I'm saying? Return on investment. What's the most pressure I can put out? This is not the most pressure that you can put out. This or this is, right? Your damage.
I think I did that because I was used to bubbling off like a monkey or something and just punishing him.
But even then, especially in Overwatch 2, the amount of HP that these tanks have, the best thing you could do is with your tickle damage, right? Because you do even less damage than you did in Overwatch 1, is to bubble isolate zone backline directly and trust that your team will be able to take the trade. We saw this in the previous meta all the freaking time. You probably do this in scrims all the time, where you would go in very aggressively, shoot the enemy backline with your primal as Winston, and then your Reaper Kiriko would just destroy the enemy Winston because you were able to zone because you got primal. Same thing here. You have the perfect position to pressure this Kiriko Mercy or the Sojourn. I mean, for crying out loud, she's shifting in. She's shifting in, right? And that, even just that one, just a little bit of frame there on the Doomfist is a waste of time. All right. Good, 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 really good. Fight winning. Very nice. And then now, sure. I won't link, but I was working with a team yesterday, and we came to the same conclusion where we were playing Winston versus Sigma on a map, and we realized that when that Sigma is stacked closer with his team, even if you get a nice bubble isolation on him, it's such a waste of time shooting him. When we were playing like this dive comp, it was like so much better. It sounds obviously forehead, but like we have to keep our attention away from the Sigma unless he really truly is completely by himself. You know, if that Doomfist is like actively feeding, if that Winston or Sigma or really any tank is actively feeding, then sure, isolate and you can shoot him. But like for you specifically, it really is truly a bait to put attention on that. Okay, you have any questions so far?
Yeah. So when I'm dealing with a Doomfist, I should just like never really actively try to do it myself.
No.
I should just zone him and help my team.
You are horrible versus Doomfist. There are times where you as a tank need to focus tank. I think like Reinhardt is okay versus Winston. You know, Junker Queen is pretty good versus Doomfist. I mean, you know, right? You I don't have to go down the list. You can feel it, but you can feel how crappy this matchup is for you. 1-on-1, he dumpsters you.
Yeah, for sure.
And really, truly, one-on-one, like the thing that people need to understand is that one-on-one matchups in a team game do matter, right? That's why we pick Reaper versus Winston. Does Reaper always counter Winston? No, but he's pretty good versus Winston, right? That's like a Zenyatta versus Tracer. Who wins that 1v1? Well, Tracer, right? So Zenyatta struggles versus Tracer. Like it's obviously the team game dynamics do change, but how a hero does in a 1v1, especially for tanks, really truly matters. People pick D.Va to counter Winston. Why? Well, should be pretty obvious,
she
right?
Burns you like
Right, right. She murders you, so. Okay. I mean, this is fine. Like, just don't die for this, you know, because again, if you got eyes in the back of your head, you know where everybody is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So just don't die for this. Like, you know, you're getting like, oh, we got a kill here, but really, truly, there's just. Like, I would even be careful about this. Don't feed punch. Oh, no. Fed punch. Careful. Oh, no, you scumbag. Look what you did. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to cut you some slack because this is just going to be too fun.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
He just goes.
He just goes. Yeah, that was stupid. Please don't feed punch. Please don't feed punch. Legitimately worse than charging a Zarya.
Yeah.
And obviously it's just like I would even go as far to say like when he comes up here and like charges like with Hanzo, I probably would have jumped out. Like you don't have bubble, it's over. Just give up. You know, you've got somebody on cart. Just wait, reset. You know, like you're not really doing anything here. You're way too married to this high ground right now. When really like if the cart's here, that's not really high ground that you can control. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, they pushed us out of that pretty easily.
Yeah. Stop. Like at the very least, the prop. I mean, if you look at this honestly right here. Is there anybody else that you could be pressuring or shooting right now?
Probably Kiriko.
Maybe.
Probably just a search.
It's kind of rough. Well, I mean, maybe, but you would die if you jumped these guys, right? So. Yeah. The problem here is not that you're shooting the Doomfist. The problem is that you didn't even look to see if there was anybody besides the Doomfist to shoot. Like right now, he jumps in, you immediately bubble and turn the Doom. I promise you, a good Winston here, like a really good Winston, because you are good, but a really good Winston would have at least turned to check to see if anybody has followed. Because what happens if the Sojourn drops? Well, now that becomes your priority. What if this Kiriko tries to walk forward, right? What if that Mercy mismanages her beam? I mean, she's actually pretty zappable here, right? That's way more pressure then you're going to be doing what you're doing right here. And maybe your team won't feed punch too. Because like you just feel worthless. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It just doesn't feel good. This fight's really lost before it even started, but I'm not liking how we're playing versus the Doomfist. Oh my gosh, you fed another punch! Stop it! Tell the dopamine kickers to just turn off. We don't want any clickety clicks. No clickety clicks.
Yeah.
All right. Yes.
Oh, this is tragic. This is fucking tragic.
Oh no, my insights are weak. I will say that once this kill happens, do be careful, right? There's no real rush at this point in time. You're 410 HP. Your team is still chasing Doomfist, especially when I see shot here. This jump is actually really scary because you could have died now. You know what I'm saying?
I could have gone one top. Yeah.
Right. So I think like you got the kill, just play for your HP, then go again. Like don't need to rush this. So yes, this is unfortunate, but it's also you got lucky that you didn't die earlier. Right. You got lucky and then you got unlucky. So it kind of evens out. But I will say, at least in principle, in terms of the play style, which you've been so desperately lacking from here on, like earlier on, this is more of what we want to see. Again, shoot the Doom, because there's nothing else to shoot. Now, right now, you got a really important question, right?
They have 2 dropped. Yeah, did I just do that?
I don't know. What do you think?
Not good.
I mean, I will say this. I legitimately don't know here because I don't know if you guys are planning to reset here. You know, are you taking this fight or are you not?
I don't remember.
I don't like you're down 1. I don't really know. Well, I'm asking you, what should you do here? I don't.
Oh, okay.
Because you're down your Genji.
1-1. They have really good angles. I think we just lose this.
Okay, so then maybe what you do here is the best thing to do, where you're just like, I could jump these guys with Primal, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to bubble, get out. Maybe our team survives the Doomfist ult. Whatever, just get out. Out. But if that's the case, then what the heck are you doing here?
Yeah.
You know? Like, you could have either gone in aggressively on snipers, ignored the Doomfist, play to win, or you could have been like, screw it. I'm going to try and protect my team with bubble, and let's just get out, reset. What is this?
Stupid Primal.
Right? Really stupid. I mean, we want bubble and Primal whenever you can. You should have just waited. You guys successfully lived, right? Let's just chill. I'm gonna go sit here. 3, 2, 1. Maybe even flank around, or screw it. Walk from here, then jump, bubble, zap, pursue with Primal, right? This is just not near enough pressure. Like, this is a phenomenal comp to have Primal versus. They don't even have Valk, right? But it's just not good.
Yeah.
Okay. So playstyle versus the Doomfist needs work. Nice, you guys cap. Should cap.
Good cap.
Sure,
I think they see 9 here.
Surely. Okay, yeah.
I think they see 9, yeah.
Okay. My head is hurting. Faster. We need a 12 times speed option for the replay viewer. Okay. Now. Again, very similarly to second point attack. What do you need to be aware of before you make this jump, which you're about to make?
Probably where their Sojourn is.
Right.
And if I can think.
Right. And also where card is as well. Like right now, I would not say that we're in actual fight territory. You kind of see what I'm saying? We're in play it slow, push card, right? So if we go in here, I knew it.
Yeah.
Not only do I question going in hard just yet, I'm not really sure if this is like what. But if you're gonna go in hard, please go in hard on the right target. I beg. Even if it's just to force a Sojourn ship, even if it's just to force a Guardian Angel or a Kiriko TP, you're gonna do so much more pressure. And we've already seen you do it once. Remember, you jumped the Sojourn in a location where you didn't have to use bubble, and then jumped her again. Remember that?
Yeah.
First thing we did. That was really good, right? It was even an awkward point of the map to do it, and you did it. But for crying out loud, no. This hero is not going to die. This hero, you're not going to be able to isolate. Like, even a Winston is theoretically isolatable and killable with a little bit of your zaps. The bubble itself, the isolate, I understand. But Doomfist is just too fast. Look at his mobility. He's already got a slam back. He's going to have his punch back in 2 seconds. There's just no way. Just no way. No way this does anything. And now the Sojourn is totally free. The Kiriko is totally free. The Mercy is totally free. You're doing no pressure, baiting no attention. You're chasing a Doomfist around. You're still shooting the Doom, but now you're feeding punch. Ah! Okay.
Yeah.
Absolute physical and psychological agony right now. Let's just take a quick peek at what's happening behind you in the meantime. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Succulent targets. Look at this. Look, even as you're zapping her, she's right next to you. Wild. Okay. Really, truly. Stop focusing on the Doomfist. Stop. Stop feeding punch. When you scrimmage, what composition mirror do you guys play?
Basically what my team's running right now, but with the Reaper.
So like Winston, Reaper, and then
Winston,
I assume you
Reaper,
guys play the mirror a lot as well?
Yeah, yeah.
You see how that might complicate things with what you're doing right now?
Mm-hmm.
How so?
I think I'm playing in that style, but not against a Winston mirror.
Right. Not only not against a Winston mirror, you're playing up against snipers with a Mercy.
Yeah.
Right? I think even in that comp, the goal is still, you're still focusing Reaper, right? Not Winston, preferably. At least you specifically are. Your Reaper might be focusing Winston, because that's who you do more damage to. But it does definitely add a little bit of context to this decision-making that otherwise seems baffling, but given the context makes a little bit more sense. Do you kind of see what I'm saying? So,
yeah,
I'm giving you a hard time, but it makes sense. It makes sense. But you also, at the same time, have to be able to adjust. You have to be able to adjust. Because the reason, well, let's think about that. Why do you focus frontline versus that composition in the mirror? The Winston, Reaper, Kiriko, Lucio, whatever, Sojourn. Why is it, not I wouldn't even say you focus frontline, but more often than not, you're not going for super deep aggressive dives on squishes?
Because just like you're supposed to bait out the important cooldowns first, and if you focus frontline, you have a better chance of forcing like a random Kiriko, Susu, or a Bubble, or a...
Well, let me go deeper than that, because I don't think that's 100% accurate. If you were to jump a Kiriko or a Sojourn in that composition, what is that hero going to do?
Run away, and then everyone else turns on you.
Right, and then you don't have your escape cooldown anymore.
Yeah.
That comp, because everybody in that composition has an escape cooldown and an effective one, and because everybody in that comp is very good at hurting Winstons, then you can be punished for not having that escape cooldown. So the reason why people focus quote-unquote frontline is because that's how you get to keep your jump cooldown. That's it.
Okay.
If you could walk into a Sojourn in that composition, I promise you every team would try and do it. Every team would. But Sojourns aren't idiots, so you can't. You can only walk on the closer range heroes. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. If you could walk into a Kiriko in that composition and force her TP without jumping, you better believe that you'd be diving after that, right? You'd be diving the Kiriko every time. But the reason why you go for the Winston and the Reaper is because it means you get to keep your jump. If the cooldown trade goes poorly, you can jump out. If the cooldown trade goes great, you can jump in. You see what I'm saying? That's why you do that. And even within that frontline trade, remember what I said. Who are you really focusing as a Winston?
The Reaper.
The Reaper. You're not focusing the Winston. You're focusing the Reaper. You're focusing the Squishy. So here, yes, everybody in this composition has some form of escape cooldown. But the problem here is this is not only not a Winston. This is a hero that you are actively never ever going to kill or even force any relevant cooldowns off of. And there's no Reaper to shoot either, is there? So you're going to have to be creative. You're going to have to be creative. You're going to have to play in a way to where I am going to have to use my mobility to go in and try and force some of their cooldowns. And I have to survive so that I can continue to pursue on that Mercy, continue to pursue on that Kiriko, continue to pursue on that Sojourn. You see what I'm saying? It was a lot easier here when they had the hero that you could just dive and that didn't have the mobility. That was the low-hanging fruit. This one, not so easy. You see?
Very hard, yeah.
Very hard, but still doable. Yeah. Oh dear.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing to say here. At this point, it's like, it's a mess, you know? I will say probably wasted Primal. It's okay to lose to Kirikou Ultimate and save it for next fight.
I was planning on switching.
What is it?
I was going to switch.
Oh, you're going to switch. Well, I would have stayed for the Primal, to be honest with you. I mean, you got 15 seconds. Having the ult for next fight. Like, I get, like, right now it's, like, really frustrating. But, like, hey, they don't have anything but Pulse. You guys have Sojourn, Blade, Kirikou ult, Beat, and Primal. You can full cap this, right? Don't panic. This is panic, right?
Yeah.
This is panic, and I'm going to swap. But why? I would like Primal right now, please. Right?
Primal is better than anything else here.
Primal, it was often better to have an ult on any hero than it is to have no ult on the counter pick, to be honest with you. Now, this is the proper hero to swap to, I would say. 100%. But, you know, Yeah, okay. Whatever. Do you have any questions so far?
So it's just, I should just be trying to figure out different styles against every hero in the game, or just like the 3 heroes I'm playing and their counters, or
yeah. I mean, you were right. You were right. If you want to feel good about yourself, you did predict this, right? You talked about ult game, the macro, but you don't know how to engage. You don't. To me, well, actually, let me stop you right there. Let me dig a little deeper here. This is my fault for not digging deeper here sooner, but I needed to actually see what we were working with here.
Oh, good.
How much time do you have playing Winston previous to this meta? You said you were a ball one trick in previous times. How literal was that?
Yeah. Pretty literal. I hit GM on ball only. Okay. Essentially only.
How much Winston have you played previous to this meta though?
Like I think a good amount, just because. I mean, I'm a main tank.
Okay.
That used to be my job, so. Oh god, probably 100 hours.
Okay. But as of recently, this meta mirror has been the majority of your time on Winston?
I would say so, yeah.
Okay. I mean, you should... Winston is a dive tank, right? Winston does well in 1v1s versus squishies. So when you're picking Winston, you're picking Winston...
Play for the 1v1 versus squishies.
For the 1v1 versus squishies most of the time. Now, there are exceptions, and the irony is that the composition that you're playing in right now in the mirror, Winston is not played for his 1v1 versus squishies. He's played because Bubble is a really great brawl cooldown with a lot, and he has the shift to jump out. But
yeah,
it is only the 6-man Moira, Kiriko, Lucio compositions that Winston is played like a true short-range brawl hero. That's the only time. Yep. Every other comp, every other situation, it's his ability to duel and pressure and dive squishies that you play him. And 9 times out of 10, even in the higher ranks, that's what you're going to be looking to do. It's about how you do it, okay? You look at the comp right now. What will Winston want to be doing?
Go in Zen.
Go in Zen. Go in the Sojourn. Go in the Kiriko. Obviously, those two are different. The fact that you get less pressure, and the goal is mostly to make them to reposition and use their cooldowns, and it is to get the kill. But the idea is still the same. If they don't use their shift on you, they die, right? So they have to use their shift. That's the whole mindset. Whereas a Doomfist doesn't care. Doomfist doesn't not only can beat you in a 1v1, but you're just not a pressure. Even if you could beat Doomfist in a 1v1, it would take an eternity, and that's not enough pressure, right? Meanwhile, that Doomfist could be ignoring you and doing what he likes doing, right? That's the danger. Mm-hmm. Okay. Again, before we keep going, do you have any questions so far?
If I am only playing Monkey in this meta, like, what other tanks should I be focusing on? Is it just, like, straight meta, or should I just be focusing on, like, a style, or, like, a general...
In ranked? What? And, like, I'm trying to understand. I don't feel like I fully understand your question. Repeat it for me one more time.
Should I be focusing on, like, a certain style? Like, I should be playing only dive tanks or only brawl tanks?
In ranked?
Or should I just be... Yeah.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I mean, I don't think it matters a ton. I mean, because, like, let's say you're playing Diva here, right? How Diva would play versus the enemy composition would be similar to Monkey, but also different, you know? So would there be carryover? Yeah, but it is a different hero, right? You might spend more time shooting the Doomfist, you might spend more time bullying the Tracer than you would spend diving the Zen. So I wouldn't say if you were to play a hero pool of Winston, Sigma, Junker Queen, I don't think that would be the end of the world. where you've got like 3 different heroes,
just
3
as
different
long
playstyles.
as you have 3 heroes.
And as long as you know what those 3 heroes I'm playing for, right? Obviously, there's Junker Queen has dynamics. If you're playing Junker Queen versus a Sigma versus a Junker Queen versus a Reinhardt, that's a big difference in how you play, right?
Yeah.
That has very specifically to do with the mobility and the range of the hero. But as long as you can make those basic reads, you should be good to go.
Okay.
But it's about making those reads. I mean, heck, even if you consider like a Sigma versus a Roadhog operates more brawly than you would think, right? So it just depends on who you're playing into, and oftentimes the enemy tank and enemy DPS are heavy influencers in how you play.
Okay.
Like okay, here's an interesting thought. Enemy team pulls a fast one on you, and they roll out on full meta: Winston, Reaper, Kiriko, Lucio, Sojourn. Look at your comp.
Yep.
What do you see?
We have a Sombra.
What else do you have?
And a Brig.
So what does that affect how you play? What does your gut say? What does your gut say? Don't think about it for hours. What does your gut say?
Ball comp. Play like ball comp from old.
Okay, how does
old
that,
Overwatch?
what do you mean?
Send Brig Kiriko, Sojourn in backline, force them to dive, and then we can look for a hack and a potential kill on.
Yeah. So you're like playing almost like less aggressive, right? And playing more to control space. Because if your Brig can survive and pocket your DPS, you're gonna win. If you feed on front line, you're gonna lose. So yeah, you can immediately see like your gut's like, okay, even within that, like now we're pivoting to something entirely different. So that is such an important skill, and that's where I think maybe your macro understanding is lacking. But I also don't think it's lacking because you're stupid and you don't fully understand. I think if you really truly sat and thought about this 1v1 versus the Doomfist, you'd be like, man, this felt horrible this whole game. But you keep slamming your head into the wall over and over and over again. Why?
I just need to think about it more.
Right, you just need to think about it. And it's not like, oh, we need to figure out how the very details of, no, just this doesn't feel right. What's the solution? What's the easiest solution? It's not complicated, right? It's not complicated. I need to avoid Doomfist. Playing versus a Roadhog. I need to avoid the Roadhog. It doesn't feel good. I get hooked. It sucks, right? So it's the same kind of thing here. If you make the decision that I think, marking their Tracer is good because I can hit right clicks on her and permanently ruin her life, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily agree, but surely that has to feel better than what we're doing right now. Any sort of improvement here. Right now, if we get the hack on Doomfist, maybe it is worth shooting him, at least a little bit. Because right now, what else is there to shoot? I don't know.
Nothing.
I mean, Kiriko, but there's no real dive opportunities. So, okay. Just don't feed punch. Oh, man. Like I said, legitimately worse than feeding Zarya Charge. And the best part is you get the kill, and you shoot Doomfist. Best thing for you to do, the aggressive thing to do would be to wait 1, 2, 3, gut jump, dive in deep, bubble and Zen.
Go on Zen.
Aggressive, yes. Punishable, yes, but better than what you're doing right now. The defensive thing to do would be to literally just sit here and don't do anything. Maybe you guys get a pick, maybe you guys get a kill. If you see your team walking forward, then you walk forward too.
I should just be waiting for their engage.
There's just zero chance of that doing anything outside of potentially getting yourself killed. Or feeding punch. The only other micro thing I would consider here, by the way, I'm sure you probably are aware of this, but this is actually a super... This was the difference. I would go as far as saying is Shock beating Houston in the semifinals. The one simple thing that Shock did better and was be very careful about what you're doing right here, even before you drop. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Sojourn.
Be careful about feeding Sojourn. If you're not committing, don't peek her. Shock, we're extremely good at playing extremely aggressive pre-fight. And I forget who was Houston's tank at the time. Dante. I mean, you get Dante. Dante was just peeking just for scouting. And every single fight, Merritt's coming in at like 14 charge and Proper's 93. Every single fight. Big deal. Just a little micro detail. But it's definitely it's a big micro detail if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, we don't love how you got here, right? You missed your jump and you're not able to drop onto them. But progress is progress, right? Check it out. Hey, all right.
Running back on.
Isolation for that Doomfist. Potential kill. No! Have you ever seen? I mean, oh gosh. I feel like I'm Peter Parker, like watching my uncle over and over and over and over and over again. And like, look what happens. Look at this. I love the direct and immediate feedback that you get for this. Okay. Right? Why was she allowed to do that? Why should not at least have a big fat monkey in her face? Something. Now it's over. It's too late now.
Yeah.
It's a nice engage, but too late. Alrighty. Nice.
Kind of forgot how we did that, but
I don't know. I honestly that guy just melted. What happened here? He was not that low. Never mind. Or he wasn't that high, excuse me.
yeah.
He got shot or something. Ooh, something shot him in the back. I don't know what happened. I don't know if... Oh, the E was right behind him, I think. I don't think he was in front of the E.
Yeah.
So he got smoked. Okay, nice. So clearly Doomfist is the target to focus, I guess. Even your positioning here is disgusting. This screams Winston Reaper. Right?
Yep.
Where should you be setting up right now?
Probably further back on that left corner.
Or at the if you are going to play aggressively, here, right? Or
up top, yeah.
Or flanking, right? And setting up for up top in a sneakier fashion. This is absurd. This is the easy shoot the target, force the monkey to jump out pre-fight in the world. Here it comes, here it comes, here it comes, here it comes. Wait for it. There it is. There it is. And now you're a non-factor. And guess what? Guess what? They take space. It's not an accident, right? They shoot, you're gone. And what did you do with that bubble? Jack. Like actual jack. There's no way for your team to follow up on that bubble at all. Like you remember the reason why you're taking these frontline trades here is because if you're considering like the Sojourn Reaper positioning a lot of these fights, they're very close with you, right? They could push this corner, right? 3, 2, 1, bam, right? What do you got? A Sombra here? Look at your team. Look at these guys. They can't help you. This is not an even trade. This is 2v5ing. And there it is. Zen gets an angle on you, but nobody in your team can get an angle on that Zen. It's over. I mean, just at that point, it's cool, fun and shenanigans. All right, I beg you, can we watch one fight of Orisa?
Yes.
Just one. Oh, whoa. Love this hero so much, not gonna lie. Nice! Nice! Surely we won.
My Orisa's solid.
Dude, I love this hero so much. This hero is just, this hero, in my opinion, the most successful thing that they did in Overwatch 2. I really, truly think that. I think the Doomfist rework was hit or miss, the Sombra rework was hit or miss. You know, what else did they do? Ramattra rework, really hit or miss. Man, is this hero fun.
Terrible.
Yeah, okay. I mean, that's all I really got for you, to be honest with you. I don't have a whole lot more. Do you have any questions?
You've cleared up a lot of shit, honestly.
Okay. I'm glad. I feel kind of dirty because it was so one-dimensional. You know, it might have just been so simple as like, just don't focus at Doom. But at the very least, here's what we've done. Beyond that, two things. The 20 minutes that we spent before we even looked at gameplay was, I think, important. Whether it was the time that you're spending, your communicational consistency, like the levels that we're talking about, those are all going to be way more impactful than not shooting Doomfist, right? But the other thing that I think that at the very least that I want to encourage you to do, that I think you'll get value out of moving forward, is to prevent this from happening again. You need to be always considering, how do I play versus this composition? How do I truly play this? Don't get stuck, and this is how I play this hero, just because that's the real danger with being a scrim monkey and never playing ranked. I'm used to calling people ranked monkeys. They just play ranked over and over again. They don't think anything. They just play ranked. But you're the opposite, right? You spend a lot more time in scrims. Well, not a lot more, but more time in scrims than you do in ranked. So then that is actually building bad habits in ranked. And it's not just about, we have to play differently in scrims and ranked. Well, the danger, as you've seen, is that scrims, you will play only one comp and only one playstyle, which kind of warps your perception of a hero. Yeah. At its fundamental base. Winston is not different in scrims and ranked. It just so happens that you're playing the one composition where Winston functions very differently than he does in ranked.
Yeah, Winston needs to be... I see what you mean.
Yeah, exactly. And you are smart enough to figure this out. You are smart enough. You've already proven that. So do it. you see what I'm saying?
Okay.
Go fix
Yeah.
it. Okay. If you have any other
Got it.
questions, let me know. If you have a replay code you want to shoot me with a timestamp, like I didn't know how to position as Winston or Junker Queen or Orisa or whatever your hero pool is going to be like moving forward, shoot it to me with a timestamp. I'll take a look at it and let you know what I think. Sound good?
Got it. Thank you.
Good
yeah.
luck.
Have a good day.
You as well, and we'll chat with you later. All right. See ya.
Yep. Peace.
All right, chat. Before everybody pieces out, link it. We'll watch. All right, chat. Let's watch it. I will do a quick look at Falco Take. Thank you for the gifted subs. Batunet, Matt Burn, Two Fisher, Aiden, GG, hey Aiden, and the Berkman. Congratulations. I appreciate the gifted subs. All right, we're gonna a quick look at this, and then what I will do is here's what I'll do. All right, we'll do our 2 coaching sessions, and then we'll actually look at the gameplay, and I'll do what I did with Kiriko, and I will predict as best as I possibly can general play style of the hero. Just general play style. I nailed Kiriko, if I do say so myself. I can't promise you that I'm going to guarantee nail this hero, but we'll give it a shot if nothing else. But we'll give you a quick first impression if nothing else. Once I'm done shrieking, I'm already loving the little glowing orbs. I guess this is the face of the target. Okay, you guys ready? Here we go.
I do not fight for myself. I never have. Together, we are unstoppable. This is not my victory. It is ours.
It's Hanu.
You are finished. You are finished. Come, let us punish them. You were warned. Fight with me! Fight until you fall! I will break before I yield. They will be annihilated. This is not cruelty. This is justice.
Whoa. What did I just watch? What is that? What's help? Wow. Okay. Well, that was something else. Yeah. Well, we're gonna have to talk about that maybe a little bit later. I'm gonna bookmark that and we can check it out later. Okay. Well, that was something interesting. Looked like we had some through barrier damage, and then the ult looked like, yeah, the multi-target Moira orb. It did kind of look like that, didn't it? Yeah, appreciate the link. I'll check that one out later. Until now, let's focus on getting better right now, so that when Ramattra comes out, we'll be that much better than everybody else. See all these soy boys out there. Oh, Ramattra. Nah, man, tune it all out. Focus on the grind set right now. We're gonna be better than everybody else because of what we do right now. Surely, Chad. Surely. That's what's gonna happen, right? Okay, let's do this. Hey, what's going on?
Hello, I'm good. How are you?
Doing pretty well. Looking through your forum here, and you got a code for me.
Yes, I do. I can send all the codes I have.
All of them, okay.
Yes, I have multiple codes.
Wonderful. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay. What is this abomination? Okay, all right, okay. We got Sojourn King's Roscrim, Tracer Esperanza game, Tracer New Queen Street, Echo Tracer Sojourn Oasis game, Widow Sojourn Junkertown game. You forgot all your other tank and support queues on every other map as well, I guess, but I'm sure you'll catch up with those as well. Goodness gracious. Okay, so let's take a look at this form first. I'm not gonna even pull up the code because I don't know. Let's talk first, and then we'll pick a code. Sound good?
All right.
All right. What do you hope to get out of the session? You say in the form, knowledge on what I could do more so that I could be turning the factor to win games that would have been close losses. Nice. So the games where I could have been the factor that win us as the game, I want to be the factor that helps us to win it. Okay. Is that line up, or is there other information as well?
It's that and like game sense. I feel like when I VOD review my own games, like I have a good knowledge of what I should do, but when I'm in games, I just like turn off my brain and play.
Yep. Okay. So getting in the habit of consciously like playing something. Can you give me an example of something that you might have picked up in your VOD review that you struggled to implement, or that you just lost focus on?
A lot that I see is like, especially on Tracer, I time my engages poorly and I don't play around my tank a lot, like target focus with my tank. In like a dive comp, I feel like when I play Tracer in a brawl comp, it's fine because I feel like my main job is just distract supports, get them to turn while my team wins the fight. I don't have to like be killing as much stuff because it's not Overwatch 1 Tracer anymore.
Right.
So I feel like a lot of my playstyle with Tracer is like Overwatch 1 style, which isn't really how she should be played at the moment.
How should she be played at the moment?
A lot more poke and distraction along with like assassination with low health targets.
Why is that?
She doesn't have that high of a damage output anymore, and there's a lot of stuff that can just randomly hit her and make her die. Like Kiriko gets her to 10 HP, Sojourn Rail. Like there's just a lot of stuff to counter her now.
Okay, fair enough. So let's check out your goals here. So long-term hit top 500, short-term stay in Masters this season. Well, have you stayed in Masters this season?
I'm 2 games away from being back in Masters.
Okay, surely. Okay, so how long have you been in Masters? Let's say go back to Overwatch 1. Where were you in Overwatch 1?
Hard stuck Plat.
So congratulations, you've made the jump. A little bit of elo heaven because of the influx of new players, yes, but regardless, well done. How does it feel to be a Masters player now?
Not really that much different, I'm not gonna lie. It's like, I don't know, it's just harder teams, but you also have better teammates, so in theory.
How's it feel?
But I don't know.
How does it feel like actually achieving that rank, regardless of whether it's Overwatch 2 or not?
Very good. It felt very good to hit Masters.
Were you immediately placed there, or did you climb up there through Overwatch 2? It was like
I climbed up there through Overwatch 2. I was placed at the start Gold 4.
Nice. Okay. Let's take a look at this here. So you want to hit top 500 at some point. Let's look at your training week. Try to at least finish 1 7-win card every couple of days, depending on if I win or not. Before every play session, stretch my wrist since I play Hyacinth, and I warm up on Kovacs for like 15 minutes. So you warm up with Kovacs 15 minutes. How is that going? Does that warm you up well? Do you like that? You enjoy that?
Yeah, I like it.
Okay, perfect. Okay, and then you try to finish at least 1 7-win card every couple of days. That is probably the most bizarre training schedule I've ever heard of. It makes sense, but it is bizarre. How does it usually translate into like actual games? Usually, I mean, it depends probably on how the day goes, how much time you have. But how does it usually translate?
It depends on like how much I'm into the game at the moment. Like sometimes, if I have like winners queue, I'll just keep queuing forever. I'll play like 14 games at least a day. If I have losers queue, I'll sometimes only get like 5 or 6 games done.
Interesting. Do you see the potential problem with that?
Yeah.
What's the potential problem with that?
Lack of consistency in playing.
Why does that problem?
Because it could lead to deteriorating skills or like mental blocks, sort of.
What do you mean by that?
Like when I start losing, I stop playing the game, which like could potentially be like, oh, if I just keep losing, I'm just not gonna play the game, which could lead to me just stopping in general.
Yeah, sure. When you say to yourself, losing is bad, that's when I stop playing. That's not exactly a very positive mindset for improvement, is it?
No.
And it also means that you've never actually truly gotten over the loser's cue mindset either, which is something that you're going to want to get over, but every time you do, you just quit, right? Every time you deal with a hard situation, you just quit trying. That's problematic, right? Especially if your goal is top 500, you're not even playing to play casual. You're going for like super, super, super casual or somewhat serious, you know? Like, you got to be better than that. So, is this you tell me, what's the game plan then? Because we already know it's bad. So what's the game plan? Why hasn't it been prioritized previous to this?
Well, my current game plan is get over the loss is bad mindset, basically. Like, take a loss as something to improve on, which is what I've been trying to do recently. Like, games I lose where I feel like if I played better, I could have won. I like to VOD review. And kind of get over like the fact that, I mean, rank to me does matter, but like overall, it's just a game. So
here's the thing.
It'd be better to like think, okay, I lost. That's not like gonna end my life or anything. Like,
yeah,
don't take losses too seriously.
Right. Here's the thing: is like I don't lie to yourself, and like I know you're not, like you said, like of course rank matters. Like, don't lie to yourself and be like, oh, rank doesn't matter. I mean, of course it matters. Of course it matters. Otherwise, they wouldn't have ranked. Otherwise, people would play quick play and not really care about it, right? Rank matters. The feeling of like I'm winning or losing something matters. Winning is fun. Rank matters. However, rank matters. If rank matters a lot to you, then the irony is that when you put too much emphasis on the rank, that compromises your ability to gain the next rank, right? The goal has to be, rank matters to me so much that I'm not going to care as much about the rank right now because I want to play for the long game. You know what I'm saying? If you're playing for the short game and you're playing to just like, I don't want to like gimp my SR today because I know I'm tilted, right? So I'm going to stop right now. Well, is that going to help your SR for today? Yeah. Is that going to help your SR loss for this week? Yeah. But you're not playing for this week, are you? You're playing for next month and this year and the long-term goal of hitting top 500. And if you handicap yourself to only limiting yourself to try and prevent too many bad things from happening to you, by playing it safe, you're also preventing too many good things from happening to you and your overall development as a player, which is going to be finding ways of getting through those loss streaks, finding ways of being able to stress test and not be as scared of losing. See, I'm such a competitive person. This is something I've had to work with, like not just in Overwatch, but in like sports too. Is like, I'm such a competitive person that I'm a good loser because I'm a competitive person. Because I'm like, I don't care if I'm going to lose right now. I'm going to be better than you in a couple of weeks. That's been like my life, like philosophy for like the last decade. Whenever I do things like that, good, I lost. Let's see what I can learn from that. You know, because I'm going to be better than you in a couple of years. You know what I'm saying? That's and that has to be your mindset. It's good to be a good loser, not only because it's a nice thing to do, but it's how you actually become a winner. How high of a sense do you play at?
7.62 on 800 DPI.
Okay. How do your wrists feel?
Fine.
Okay. I would go as far to like, how are the wrist stretches feeling?
Do
you have wrist pain?
No, I don't have any wrist pain.
Okay. Then you're saying go ahead.
If I don't like stretch my wrists and like warm up before I play, then usually if I play for a long time, I start to get some like soreness in my wrist.
Got it.
Which is why I try and always make sure I do that in my warm up.
Got it. Okay. What I would try and do as well is I would look up some very basic wrist strengthening exercises as well, because when you're putting them under such duress, you need the muscles and tendons there to be very strong. Not something that you would need to do very often, maybe once or twice a week on days where you're not playing very much, or maybe even after you're done playing. But I would try not to stretch, but I would try and strengthen. Strengthen is generally better injury prevention than stretching is. I know it sounds a little bit weird for people, but that's the truth. Sound good?
All right.
Unfortunately, I don't have any recommendations for you. Yeah, I would do a little bit of YouTube research, do a little bit of science research on that, but try and strengthen not just stretch.
All right.
The warming up is definitely good though. That's always good for the wrists. Okay. 15 minutes of Kovacs. We need to be more consistent with your gameplay. We talked about why. You talked about why. Really. That's pretty much all I've got for that. Sound good?
Yeah.
Okay. Last thing when it comes to the training hygiene, I guess I would say, and that is the hero pool: Tracer, Sojourn, Widow, Hitscan. So are you the quintessential Hitscan player?
Kind of, but
I figured.
I kind of find hit scan boring. So I personally, when I have the opportunity to, like to play flex damage more.
Why do you play it? Because you
Well,
want to
I
win?
play it because all right. So when I started Overwatch, it was like I started Overwatch like 2 years ago, like at the prime Ash meta, like double sniper, that poke meta.
Mm-hmm.
So, and my mechanics were very bad because it was my first game on keyboard and mouse. So I just played
Yep.
hard hit scan the whole time, and I got good at it. And then I started playing more and more, and I just got more boring. It's just, to me, it's like point and click adventure, hit your shots and you win. Even though I know it's more than that, I know it's a lot positioning, target priority, stuff like that. But to me, it just got boring over time. And I like to like characters like Echo, where it's all ability based.
Well, play Echo. Play Echo. Crying out loud. Why are you still
Well,
playing
that's
these heroes? Is it just because I'm scared to relearn the game from a projectile standpoint, or the projectile heroes aren't good, or do you like playing like a
it's
Sojourn or what?
I liked playing Sojourn when she first came out, and then in the last meta when it was what was the meta? It was before, it was like the Junker Queen
Jungle
meta
Queen.
where it was Sojourn sits back and pokes and wants to get a headshot pick. I found that boring, so I stopped playing her and moved to Tracer again. So a lot of it comes from me not consistently playing a hero if I find it boring.
Okay. How do you like Tracer?
I love playing Tracer.
Okay. How do you like playing Echo?
I love playing
What
Echo.
about Widow?
Widow, it depends.
All right, we're gonna do. I'm pulling this up right now. All right. How do you like playing Ash?
Ash is probably my current favorite hit scan.
Bastion.
Bastion, he can be fun just because he's kind of a meme.
Cassidy.
Cassidy, I like playing Cassidy.
Wait, I thought you said you didn't like playing hit scan.
Well, I like Brawl a bit more, and Cassidy's more Brawl. I
Mm.
mean, I guess when I say I don't like hit scan, it's more I don't like playing Widow.
Oh, okay. So we've got Ash. Hang on a second here. You've got me. Maybe pull out a spreadsheet on my stream here. So let's figure this out here. I'm shift. What am I doing here? Ah. Okay. I think we're still good. Yes, we're still good. Okay. Ash, sort of. Bastion, well, meme. So Cassidy, you where was Cassidy again?
Um, he's sort of with Ash.
Okay.
He's
Okay.
with Ash, I'd say.
All right, we'll give him the yellow check mark. Echo, you love Echo, so I don't know why I did this. We'll give them a double check mark because I messed up. Genji,
I like playing Genji.
yellow, red, green.
I'd put him yellow, yeah.
No, all right. Hanzo,
Um, kind of same as Widow.
all right.
So like, I will play him, but I won't have the best time playing him.
The rat.
I despise Junkrat.
We'll give him a double X. May.
Sort of. I I'd also put her. A lot of the characters are just
Meh.
meh.
Farah.
Farah, I don't know. I don't really play Farah.
Reaper.
He's and also X.
Sojourn. I mean, we talked about this already, but where would you color?
I'd put her as a green check. The amount of times I play, the amount of time I have on her, and I do like how she's played in this meta.
Soldier?
I love Soldier.
Really? So green check?
Yeah.
Oh wow, okay. Sombra.
Sombra, you can put an X on her.
It's way ahead of you. Symmetra.
You can put an X on her
I
too.
figured Torb.
Another X.
All right, Tracer.
Triple green check mark.
Triple green. Wow, look at that. And Widowmaker. I mean, we kind of...
Widow, you can yellow check or
yellow
X.
check. Okay, yellow check here. We'll do that. All right. Well, we have something of a hero pool, don't we? Check it out. We have this. We have this. And we have this. And then if things change, maybe Sojourn gets nerfed, maybe then this becomes the new one, right? Or maybe, I don't know if you're watching the stream right now, but I would recommend.
Yeah, I am.
Or maybe then we throw in this, right? Or this again, right? You guys see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Don't waste time with these yellow check marks or these red at all if you don't want to. It's really that simple. Like, so I think you're mostly there, but I don't want a Widow VOD. Why are you sitting in a Widow VOD when you have Tracer, Sojourn, and Echo to play?
I play a lot of Widow.
Why?
Because she's one of my best characters.
But do you enjoy playing her as much as you do a Tracer, Sojourn, Echo?
No.
You don't need a hero pool that's bigger than 1, 2, 3. I mean, maybe 3. I mean, 3 heroes is a lot. Is there any situation that a Sojourn, Tracer, or Echo, one of those 3 heroes, are all going to be trashed here?
No.
No. Impossible. Impossible. Junkertown. Doesn't matter. Play Tracer. Junkertown. Play Sojourn. Charge up shot. Railer. Any sort of projectile Koth map. You got like there's no situations. You've covered all situations with just these 3 heroes. Much less adding in a soldier or a projectile like or a hit scan like an Ash if you enjoy playing more. Stop wasting time. Stop wasting your time. You're wasting your time. You're not wasting my time. You're wasting your time, and you're making your experience less fun. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Fix it. Fix it. And change it. If Sojourn gets nerfed and you want to go play Ash again, go for it. Stop playing Widowmaker. Stop it. Okay. Let's keep going. Do you have any questions about that before we move on, by the way?
Not really.
Okay. Hours of sleep, 7 to 10. Uh-oh. This sounds like your loser's queue, but with sleep. 7 to 10 is a big variance.
Well, it depends on what time my classes are.
Got it. Okay.
Usually I try and get. Usually it's more like 8 to 10, to be honest.
All right. Fair enough. I won't give you too hard of a time then. That's not the worst thing in the world. Okay. Last thing. What do you feel is holding you back? And the answer in your form is game sense and consistency with mechanics. Please explain what you mean by that.
So, a lot of the times with my mechanics, I will be at like the start of a game or a session, I won't be hitting my shots until like I hit that first shot, and then after I hit that, I'm all good for the most of the game. But it can take me a hot second to hit those first shots.
Do you think that that's more of a mentality thing, or do you think it really just take you a little bit longer to get warmed up, and when you hit the shot because you were warmed up, and it goes from there?
I think it's probably more of a mentality thing.
Okay.
Because it varies too much from game to game.
Right. Does it game to game or day to day?
Both.
Okay. Because day to day could be external factors, right? You can't always control those. Things like sleep or stress or whatever. But if it's literally adjusting game to game, then that's kind of tough. You hit one shot, and then you reset your mentality. Ouch, for the next game. Is that really where you're at? Where you're like, oh, if you have one good game and that just you start all over again the next game?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay. Why do you think that is?
Maybe a lack of confidence in myself.
Have you heard me talk about confidence before as a hit scanner or a DPS player?
No.
Okay. How do you get more confidence?
Like me personally?
Sure. This is in general. How do in game, out of game? How do you build confidence?
In game, it's a lot of time comes from ego duels or ego peaks, where it's like I know it's something I don't have to do, but I'll take the duel, and if I win it, it's like, okay, I'm better. I'm gonna hit all my shots now. And that, like, a lot of the times in my games when I like take that ego duel and I win it, that's the games where I'm hitting like the most shots. And then outside of the game, I don't really know outside of the game.
So let me give you a little scenario. If you are a Overwatch player and you do great and we train and we coach and then all of a sudden you become Grandmaster. It builds some confidence, right? You got to Grandmaster. You got to Masters, right? That's built some confidence in your capabilities, right?
Yeah.
Now I'm going to pull out the rug from under you. Overwatch shuts down tomorrow. It's done. No more Overwatch. And you're going to play. What's the other game? Are there any other games that you enjoy playing?
At the moment, not really.
Okay. If, let's say, Valorant. You just were to try Valorant. I've basically played only a little bit of Valorant. Did not like it. But let's say that you did like Valorant. And you picked it up. You got the Grandmaster in Overwatch. How far could you get in Valorant?
I mean,
I don't know the ranking system, but
if I were to grind and play Valorant, I hope I could hit like diamonds.
yeah, you would be good. You would be more confident going into Valorant that you would be able to get higher rank than you would have been going into Overwatch. Why? Because what happened with Overwatch?
I hit a high rank.
You hit a high rank. Did you have some hiccups? Did you have some, hard stuck moments? Yes, but you got there, didn't you? So that builds confidence. Yeah. Okay, you got to a high rank with Valorant. Now I'm gonna pull out the rug out from underneath you again. Your computer explodes. The internet shuts down, and we become a roving society of Neanderthals living off the land. Okay, you have to start learning how to farm, and you have to start. We've really gone out there. By the way, this is one of the analogies I've ever made. So you have to start farming. You have to start gardening. Now you have 2 video games that you put your mind to, and 2 video games that you didn't really have any experience with at all, and you were able to get very, very good at them when you put your mindset to them. So now we're in a completely different field, literally. And how do you think that you're going to be able to succeed at this completely irrelevant skill set if you put your mind to it? I should hope.
I mean, I feel like it'd be a lot just determination and hard work.
Yeah, but you've done that before, haven't you?
Yeah, so
and
I
you
would
succeeded.
So the experience in succeeding through, like, pushing through the hard stuck moments. Maybe I'm a hard stuck soybean farmer.
IRL soy boy. Yes, exactly. That's it. But you see what I'm saying, right? You have built experience and you have built confidence through pushing through different scenarios, even from the ground up. That's how you build confidence. You don't build confidence by people telling you you're great. You build confidence by actually going out and doing great things over and over and over and over again. So for you, you're like, I don't have the confidence in the duels. Well, then how are you going to get confidence in taking a Widowmaker duel?
By doing them over and over and over again.
Right. And not having confidence. Remember, we talked about this and when I made another video of this. It's not having confidence in your ability to win the duel. It's having confidence that I might. Remember what we talked about earlier? I don't have confidence that I'm going to win the duel now. But I know that I'm going to win the duels in a week from now. Because that's the type of person I am. Because I'm not going to be scared of looking like an idiot right now. I'm going to look like an idiot way more than you, so I'm going to be better than you, right? That's confidence. It's like you said, the hard work and determination that I'm going to fail now, but I've succeeded in other things by just hard work and determination. I'm going to freaking do it right now. You know what I'm saying? That's confidence right there. That's how you build confidence. And you could build confidence today, right now. You see what I'm saying? And that ties in very nicely with what we were talking about losing earlier, doesn't it?
It does.
Okay. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And that's not going to be the light switch flip for all of a sudden you're hitting all your shots. But what it will do is it means the light doesn't turn out just because you miss a shot. It doesn't matter if you miss the shot. That's not what we're playing for. We're playing for just taking the shot and then taking it again and taking it again. And if the light doesn't come on all day long, we don't care. We're still taking the shots. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. You said game sense. Let's hit that really quick before we get into the review. Game sense. What do you mean game sense when you say things that you need to work
on? Positioning, target priority, and general knowledge of matchups.
Okay.
What's my role in the current comp?
Okay. Sounds good. We'll talk about that in more specific terms once we actually look at the replay code. Now that we've gone through the code, which thank goodness we did, look at the replay codes that you posted to me, and you tell me what you need to get better at. Which one do you want to look at?
Probably the Sojourn King's Row scrim one.
Okay, get that pulled up. So you're scrimming?
Yeah.
Interesting. When did that start? How did that start? How is it going?
It started like this semester for college.
Ooh. Where are you going to college?
MSU.
Nice, nice.
I was just in my dorm playing some Overwatch. I saw nearby players, and one of them was Masters. So I was like, oh, that's cool. I'm currently hard stuck Plat. So I added him. He added me back. He was like, oh, you should join the Overwatch club. And I was like, all right. And then I did. Initially, just thinking like I would like to join some scrims here and there, you know, just to get some experience. And then I ended up joining the team.
How's that been going? How long has that been the case, by the way? I guess since you were Plat, so a few months at least, right?
Yeah. And I feel like it's helped me improve a lot.
How so?
Just playing with the team, and I feel like that itself just helps me learn a bit more like my role as a damage player.
What have you learned?
I've gotten a lot of help from the players on the team, but I feel like I've learned a much better understanding of the game and general matchups.
Makes sense. How often do you guys scrim?
We try to scrim like twice a week, and we usually have like a match once a week, and you like either random tournaments or like the collegiate tournament's over, but we were in that.
Cool. How'd that go?
It went pretty good. I think we had a positive record.
Nice.
But we didn't make the actual play-ins.
That's all right. Still good though. Still very
yeah.
good. I mean, you know how college goes. It's you either have this guy used to play in the Overwatch League, and then you have this is a gold player. You know? Yeah. So there's a lot of variance, but okay. Well, good for you. Good for you. I'm glad it's been a positive experience. Okay, so I guess we can focus. I mean, we're definitely going to look at your role within the team, but I do want to try and make this a little bit more broad within just understanding the game better, because obviously the majority of the time that you are playing right now is in ranked. So let's find out not just what you need to be doing in the team environment, but more specifically, what does your hero actually need to do? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay. You have any questions?
Not at the moment.
All right, let us get started then. What is Sojourn good at?
One-shot capability.
How do you get to
turning the tides of fights? By poking and getting your 100 charge.
Okay. What else is Sojourn good at?
Control of the fight with her slow orb.
Okay. What else is Sojourn good at?
Positioning, because her slide.
Okay. What does that mean?
It means that you can take hard engages and still get out, or you can dive in with your team, or you can take high grounds easily.
Is there anything in the enemy composition that will punish you for taking a hard off angle?
Maybe the Bastion.
Maybe.
With a lot of burst damage, and the Rhine. If I take a hard off angle, they could speed on me.
Okay. Would you have shift theoretically?
Yeah.
You should. If you didn't, goodbye, right? Something to consider though. It could either be used as an escape cooldown, or as we've said in many previous Sojourn reviews, as a get out of jail free card to screw the enemy team. I have this. I'm going to play whatever I want. Just try and stop me. Oh, you're going to try and stop me? I'm going to shift away and waste your time. That's a good mindset to be in, depending on the composition you're playing into. Versus this comp, do you think that you're going to need your shift as an escape cooldown strictly to prevent you getting dove?
No.
No, so then how should you be using it?
Take hard off angles and get out when they try and focus me.
Sure. Now, I won't say always take hard off angles, because unlike Soldier, and because you don't have like a mercy, you're not going to be able to be pocketed all the time, right? So you don't have your own self-healing to control off angles by yourself. But maybe you find charge, maybe you take an off angle with Railgun and E and your shift and see what happens from there. You kind of see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So let's take a look at it. What I would love for us not to do is end up shooting the Rhine shield on the floor the entire map, because that would not be good. At that point, you're better off playing a different hero. Right?
Yeah.
Let's do this. What do you think about that, E?
I think that it slowed down their push, but it was a bit late because everyone is already in it, so they can just walk through it quickly with speed.
True. What else is a problem with that? You said everybody's in it, but is your team going to capitalize off of everybody being in it?
No.
Because look at where... Can you shoot them right now?
No.
Can your Junkrat shoot them right now?
I don't think so.
Can your Kiriko shoot them right now?
No.
So your Hog is benefiting from this, but that's it. So then you tell me when or where would be a better E.
When they start pushing up, maybe around the corner when we're actually taking the fight. Like in between the statue and hotel.
Agreed. What do you think about that shot?
I took it too early.
What does that mean?
I could have held it and potentially made forced the Rhine to hold up shield more and had more potential for an actual pick instead of just damage.
It just felt like you just kind of mashed it, you know?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Would it be nice to have E there, right?
Yes, it would have.
All right, let's... Okay. Maybe you get him. Surely you get him. Oh, no. Let's look at the shot again. So this is a bit of a chaos. I'm not gonna pick on either because this is we're chasing Bastion, but somehow this guy gets away. Oh my gosh. I will say this though. Just a little bit rushed, right? Just a little bit rushed.
Yeah.
I think shooting the Hog there is fine. He was low. If you headshot him, he might have died, but he didn't hit the shot. That sucks. Okay. Oh. This man, I swear, what is this foolishness? Okay.
He does that a lot throughout the game.
Run! Get out! Get out! Out! Oh, no.
I messed up my jump onto the high grounds there.
Oh, disaster. Okay. Okay, we'll keep going. No comment. Boy, this has been the easiest VOD review of my entire life. Oh, man. Okay. Uh-oh. He's doing the thing. If you die to this ult, then the VOD review is just going to get easier. Oh, no, you don't die. That's unfortunate. Oh, dear. Not quite. So I'm gonna be real with you. You've made some really stupid errors. You made some unfortunate errors, like the E I think was the big one. But this has been a bit of a snowball, you know? I don't have a whole lot for you so far. What do you think?
My main intention with the EU is to try and force them off of the high ground. But it was probably a bit early considering they can just move to the left, and that gave the team on the bottom free reign to push up.
If that had forced them off of the high ground, would that have been a good use of your E?
I think, yeah.
I think so too. Nice shot. Very nice, by the way, this fight. Very nice. Good use, good positioning. Good use of your E. Good target priority. Didn't quite hit the shots, but you were taking your time with each shot and aiming, and I respect it. Looked good. That one, not so much. You see the difference, right?
Yeah.
I go over this so much with Sojourn mains because we've never really had a hero that has this one-shot potential that requires this much precision and yet can move at like full 80-80. Like if you're playing Widowmaker, yes, there have been times when I reviewed a Widowmaker where they're rushing their shots. But just the nature of the aiming down scope kind of forces you to slow down and focus up, right? Sojourn, you could just be completely brain dead, running around like a chicken with his head cut off and smashing one shot, right? We've never had that before. And then even Hanzo, right? It's just over and over and over farming one shot, farming one shot, farming one shot. With you, with Sojourn, it's just different. So you really need to make sure that there is some sort of focus and some sort of effort behind each and every one. And again, what do you think about that E?
Way too early.
Now, was the play? Does it cause a reaction on the enemy team? Let's watch. Yeah, a little bit of a split.
Yeah.
But why does this not matter?
Because we aren't taking the fight yet.
Right, it's a 15-second cooldown. 3, 2, 1. You got lucky. No better E opportunities have arisen, so hopefully we'll get it back in time before the fight starts. But you're not always going to get lucky, will you?
No.
Right now. E. Ha. That E is impactful, right? That E is impactful. There's a fight actually starting. This is forcing a good split. But, alright. Uh-oh. How consistent is this jump up to this one here?
Not that consistent.
Have you practiced the jump tech with this one?
No.
Okay, you know what I'm talking about, right, with the jump tech, yes?
Yeah.
Okay, that would be something I would be practicing a little bit more consistently because this is a fight-losing mistake. I would also go as far to say that you probably should be jump teching to this high ground instead because this one's probably a little bit too far forward given the status of the fight. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay. It's silly to me that you spend all this time for the charged 100 shot, waiting, and then you blow it on his feet. That's lazy. I need more emphasis when you have that shot. You did a good job holding on to it, and then you just blow it, shooting his butt as he's running away from you. No chance this gets a kill. No chance. Right now, opportunity. Right now, opportunity, but it's too late now. Maybe. Ah! I'm gonna 0.25 it just so you can enjoy every blissfully painful frame. Come on, you're better than that. You're better than that. That is not a mechanics problem. That is brain turning off. Wait. This is acceptable, right? There was effort put behind that one. The previous one, not so much. You see the difference between those two, yes?
Yeah.
That was good practice. There was a miss, but it was good practice. The other one, no. Nice shot. Alright, practice that shift. Let's get it. Surely we get it. Oh dear. So, again, positioning here, like this is really, really important that if you can get up here pre-fight, that needs to be a priority. You do not gain anything by being on the floor when you're just basically have the same off angle up here, you know, but it's a little bit safer position. Worth pointing out.
Yeah.
And then he also, because he forces your shift with his ultimate, this is actually a perfect use of Bastional, really. It forces cooldowns, it forces people out of space, and then they push with it and then try and punish you for using those cooldowns, right? I don't know if this is intentional or not, but this is really good from the enemy team. And again, look at this right click. Come on now. Come on, man. Better than that. Unfortunate. Okay. What do you, wait. Wait, do we win? Do we win? Do we win? Please tell me we win. I don't know if we win. No, I don't think we win. Tragic. Okay, what are you seeing so far in this scrim?
A lot of rushed right clicks and rushed E's.
What else are
and
you
messing
seeing?
up jump techs and positioning.
Yeah, a little bit of everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's keep watching, and then by the end we'll have something nice and tight to think about. Maybe a couple of things. Uh-oh. Now it's kind of funny. I would have E'd that sooner, but in principle, do you think E'ing in here is good?
If they're trying to fight through it, yes. But since they're able to disengage and I mess up the E, no.
You messed up the E, but I think your intentions were decent enough, right? This is, if you had hit it here, I think this would have prevented them from pushing in to try to kill your Reaper Hog, which would have been a fine use of E. You just missed it, that's all. And maybe we're a little bit slow too, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Nah! It's finding that balance between being quick on the draw, but then not rushing it, right? And the goal is to be a little, slow it down just a little bit so you get more comfortable hitting those shots, and then as time goes on, you're able to speed it up quicker and quicker and quicker. You know what I'm saying? But right now you're forcing it, and you're not even aiming. You're just mashing it in the general direction and hoping that it hits. But your mechanics are better than that. Oh, okay. Obviously, one of the things you got to be careful about pre-poking, right?
Yeah.
You're coming in from a meta where there was a lot of Zarya, a lot of Winston, so not a lot of Widow, not a lot of Hanzo, right? So you could kind of peek doing whatever you want. Shame on you. that was not what we needed, right? Wait for it. Respond, react, right? That's a big waste of cooldown. Good positioning. I like this rotation from you. You can pop your E. Very, very late in the E there, sadly. But I love the positioning. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Maybe they forgot. I think they did. Ah! Okay. Oh, okay. Unfortunate. Okay. Let's keep going. We're moving at such a fast pace. We went so slowly through the forum, but we're going so quickly through the actual gameplay. Oh dear. Nice shot. What do you think about this ult?
I think that I should have pre-peeked to at least make sure it would have been a good use of the ult. And I think I'm also very exposed to any push from them, but I think it does a good job of forcing their backline back so we can take the tank fight.
I'd agree. I honestly think this is okay. I think like what you said, making sure that you know where they are before you press the Q would have been helpful. But I do think that you do see the Sojourn, which is why you press the Q. So I think it's okay. The only thing I would say is right click, and then what I would do from here is I would immediately shoot, right click, and then probably chuck your E in there as well, just to either finish off kills or create a further split. So like while your railgun is charging, it's a good time to use that E. Kind of see what I'm saying? It's a micro detail, but it's a good one to do.
Yeah, I don't know why I didn't use my E there.
That's okay. We've seen that a couple times. Sometimes you are very slow to pull the trigger on it. However, let's look at what this Sojourn ult, which you miss all the shots, you don't do anything with the E, and let's see what you did with it. All right, let's just watch. Look at their backline, you see? Look at their hog, you see?
Yeah.
Look at their Lucio. Look at their Sojourn. Look at the Kiriko. You won the fight. Right? Didn't hit a single didn't hit a single shot. But you timed it well. You positioned well. You didn't die for it. Nice job. And I know it's kind of like blech, but you should still feel good about that. Right? If not in the moment, you should feel good about it right now. You won your team the fight with one ultimate. Good work. I knew that was going to happen. I knew it. I just knew it. Now, to be clear, is this a bad E?
If they're pushing up to take the fight, no. But when they're backing up, yes.
Right? So consider that.
Yeah.
How does that affect your decision making right now?
It should be like, they're not going to take the fight. We should more take fight to them while we have numbers.
Maybe.
So I can use my E to slow down their disengage.
Sure.
Or
Maybe. I mean, you got somebody in cart too, no?
yeah.
So are you really taking a fight right now?
Not really.
So what do you think about the C?
It's not awful, but could have been used better.
How could it have been used better?
Save it for when the fight comes, or when we do decide to take a fight.
Let's watch when the fight comes. Do you want to guess if you have your E here or not?
I'm gonna think I do.
Right? There it is. So, what do you think about this E?
Not bad.
It's okay. It's okay. As long as your team isn't going to be pushing this hard, or the enemy team isn't going to be pushing, like if there isn't an actual engagement going on, using it for a little bit of extra pressure, a little bit of extra ult charge, it's okay. I will say if like you could maybe, I don't know, walk up a little bit further forward, careful hook, and maybe get a little bit of a better E for more ult charge, but I think it's very important to understand what I'm talking about here. You kind of see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When it's needed, you have it. There's no opportunity now for you to get anything done with your E, and by the time the engage actually starts, actually the second that it starts, you have it. Now, it's actually, this is why you have to be very good with the timing though. Do you see how close it was to having it late, right?
Yeah.
So it's actually works out quite nicely. You actually are slow to use it, which is funny. In fact, the placement isn't that good either. It should have been right on this corner, you see?
Yeah.
Okay. Bastion. Wait, did your Kiriko not see him?
I don't know.
That may be the funniest animation I think I have ever seen. Check this out. I don't know why, that's just the funniest thing. Okay. Reasonable E. Uh-oh. You got baited. You got baited. He got you. That's funny.
I got baited very hard.
You have to keep in mind that unlike Riptire, his vision when the ultimate is actually pretty good, right? So because he can be like,
yeah.
He presses Q, he's got a pretty good viewpoint. Where there it is, right? So he can immediately respond. So that's hilarious. Alrighty. Where should you be right now?
The high ground above me.
Yeah. I think high ground above you. Still can get healed, but have a little bit better vision. Feel a little safer too. Come on now. A lot of the times I would say your E is very similar to your right click, where if you gave yourself literally a quarter of a second to think about the situation, you would make a better read. You're smart. You would have made the better decision there. I promise you. Just give yourself a chance to actually make the decision, right? Instead of just immediately have to just press the button. Like, I don't even have a problem with this. Like, I actually think this one feels a little bit more aimed. Like, look at this railgun, right? You see you're moving off, you try and lead the shot, you just overflick, right?
Yeah.
I will always be okay with misses like that. Always. Oh my goodness gracious. This guy is just does not care. Huh.
Bastion, man, I swear.
I guess so. I guess so. Surely you guys will start to anticipate that. Hey guys, where's the Bastion? I don't know. I'm sure it's fine. Surely. We'll eventually. All right. What do you think about the Z?
Too slow.
I think you hit it, but I think it's not too slow because for example, if you'd put it too quickly, they might have just waited it out, right?
Yeah.
But I think the placement could have been better. Where would you have placed it?
A bit further up and trying to cover the whole choke.
Yeah, right here, maybe.
Yeah.
I think it's a big deal. I think it's a really big deal. You also have to keep in mind as well that your E also slows. So it's not just about the damage that you do. It's also about, like, I'm actually slowing up everybody in their team, so it's easier for the rest of my team to do damage, right? So it's actually a really big cooldown. Run, Rudolph. Okay. Okay.
Probably didn't need to use slide there.
I want focus. Come on. Okay, not bad. Again, the ult itself is fine. Seemed okay. Can we get it? 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 Oh, maybe we're not gonna go up top. That's fair. I think versus this comp, you could probably be more comfortable going up top, just because, you know, your Reaper can get there and their DPS can't. But all right.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Their Bastion might figure out a way to get up there.
That's probably true. Their Bastion will find a way to, like, you know, throw a grenade off of this wall and it will bounce, and then like 10 seconds later it will land here, and he'll do like that Zarya double jump, you know what I'm saying? Double grenade jump. Yeah, he'll find a way. Alright, we're charged. Love to see it. As you can see, the Roadhog mirrors, especially with two relatively inexperienced Roadhog mirrors, both Sojourns are going to have shot pretty much 100% of the time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just something to be aware of. Oh, come on. Come on. You know, actually, I'll give you some more slack because it kind of looked like you aimed. It just looked like the mouse just died. But I'll give you some more credit with that one. At least we took the time to aim, it just didn't work out. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay, you know where Bastion is. You know where he is. He's somewhere up top left. Surely you guys know. E, what do you think?
It wasn't where their team was, but it sort of split them.
Was it well timed?
Sort of. It got, like, the Sojourn stuck in it.
It's a little early, but it's not bad. Yeah. And it does zone the Sojourn, right? It's not perfectly timed, but it's okay. Oh, wow, he melted. Probably would have just shifted out there. What do you think about the C?
Positioning isn't that good. Timing is pretty good.
I think the positioning is pretty good, actually. See what it does? Let's watch it from that perspective. Uh-oh. Sojourn's like crap. Lucio's like crap. Kiriko's like crap, right?
Yeah.
I think it's pretty good. Look at the timing. Look at the positioning, right? Look what it causes. One cooldown causes this. One. This is why I'm obsessive about Sojourn E. This is a perfect example of why, right? You just made this a 5v1 for like 3 or 4 seconds with one press of a button. One. And what did that do? Got you space.
Forced Suzu.
Forced Suzu. Forced Vape. And what did it cost you? One
cooldown.
One cooldown. And you're entering this fight at charge. Whereas their Sojourn should be charged and you should not be charged because she should have been able to free fire. She was not able to free fire. Fight winning E. Fight winning E. I know it looks succulent right now, but don't do it. You know? Why?
Because they have so much space just to move around it.
Right. Well, not only that, but look at your team, right? Look at the card. Right? You need to wait about 5, 6, 7 seconds, and then you're good to go. right? 3. No. Not only is this too early, but also this, you're not even really looking now. 3, 2, 1, Sojourn. You see it?
Yeah.
Here comes the fight. You can even see it. You've anti-nated. Where would you throw your Sojourn here if you had time and opportunity to? Where would you put it?
Right behind the Lucio.
Yep. Throw it right here. GG's. It's over. Or right on top of the Bastion. GG's. Over. Nice. Nice.
I think I get a bit over zealot. Oh wait, no, we did win the fight.
You just carry. You just carry. Huh. No such thing as overzealous when you're just hitting every shot. Too early.
Because then I would have had it here.
He's going for you. He's going for you. You cap. Nice. Okay. What did you see from this gameplay? From your gameplay, really? I mean, really the entire map. What did you see?
That a lot of the times my mistakes come from me just rushing myself, and if I just calm down for a second and think about what's happening, I'd make the right play.
Which mistakes in particular were the two egregious ones?
The right clicks and the E's.
Yep. And actually, if you think about it, even your positioning was missed a lot of the times pre-fight. A lot of panic. Especially remember the third jumping, like not knowing where to go, getting up in bad spots from missing the jumps.
Yeah.
Maybe if you take the time to actually position there, think about it ahead of time, things go a little bit better. So for you, I think that there was definitely a need of improving your mechanics. And there was also definitely a need of improving your decision making with your E usage. But I agree with you that it felt like at least the majority of those missed shots in those E's were not a question of mechanics or knowledge, but a question of how settled were you before that decision making was needed, right?
Yeah.
And I would go as far as to say that is the case with your positioning as well. So what's the goal for you? You talked about self-VOD review, not really sure what to look for. Well, what are you looking for now?
Times where I need to just slow down and think.
Make it a habit. Ahead of time, what are you looking for with your E? What am I looking for? When am I going to be taking this shot? Prepare it. Slow it down just a little bit. And then over time, you'll be able to speed it up once you start to build those good habits. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any questions?
No.
Okay. Well, you tell me. We've talked about a lot. We talked about confidence. We talked about your structure. We talked about your hero pool. We talked about your training habits. We talked about obviously all the slowing things down a little bit. We talked about some of the game sense decision making with your positioning and the E usage. So, what's the short term checklist for you, and what's the long term checklist from you after this review, from what you can remember?
Short term would be probably become more confident. I guess that'd probably be more long term. Kind of both. Short term.
Let's not say become more confident. Let's just say long term goal is to continue to train confidence, right? Let's see,
yeah.
Right. Okay. Sorry. Go ahead.
And as a short term goal, I think that it'd be reasonable to say, calm down and think when you play. Think before the fight. What am I trying to get out of my abilities?
Remember when you said early on that you would have stuff that you would go into work on and you just like completely lose it? Maybe this is a good habit to help with some of that. Staying focused on what you need to improve upon is a really hard thing to do, but that's something that you can definitely work at. What else? Remember hero pool?
Hero pool. Limit myself to the heroes I enjoy playing.
Yes.
And don't waste time on other heroes.
Yes. Don't bully yourself into playing Widow. And then training time. Training schedule.
Be more consistent with the way I play.
Yep. Let's work at that. This is the thing. It's like you have a lot of things to work on in a lot of different aspects. So be patient, set short-term goals, and then the goal again, remember, it's okay to lose. It's okay to not 100% succeed with your Sojourn E's right now, even after this VOD review. But what we want is a little bit of improvement, right? Play the long game. Play for the top 500 game. Don't play for the I'm going to get to Masters 4 game, right? That's not the goal. That's not the goal. Okay. Do you have any questions? Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. Keep in touch. Let me know if you do have any questions in the future. And then the replay code rule, if you have a team fight, scrim, ranked game, whatever, where you're like, I don't know what to do here. I didn't know how to position on Sojourn, Widow, Tracer, anything. Actually, not Widow. Send it to me with the timestamp, and I'll get back to you within a day or so. Sound good?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much, mate. Good work.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Have a good rest of your day. All right?
You too.
Right, see ya. Bye-bye.
See ya.
So that was Kamens, the Sojourn Extraordinaire. I honestly don't even know if I pronounced the name correctly. I feel bad now. I didn't even get a chance to ask. But yeah, hope you guys learned a little bit about that. I think the confidence talk is the big thing there. It's like, how do you build confidence? By doing things, and building confidence by actually doing things. It doesn't have to be big things. You build confidence by doing small things. I can do this. I've done it before. And then you build up from there. Easier said than done, but that's how you start. But I hear Hog is meta now. Did the meta just evolve or things changed because of the patch? Both. A lot of things happened. So what happened is then Winston happened. So Hog was good versus Winston. Hog also synergizes really, really well with Kiriko. So that's the big thing. Hog is just good with what's currently strong and good against what's currently strong. But Hog is itself not necessarily a super strong hero. He's just benefiting a lot from the meta right now. Why not Hog in the Al Grand Finals? Well, because from what we understand, probably still would have been better. From what I heard, that Winston, when played well, was still the better composition, just because the ability to control off angles, the ability to enable your Sojourn, the ability to control the enemy Sojourn, things like that. And people were better about playing around hooks at the highest level. So that would be my guess why. From what I heard, is that some of the APAC teams tried to play the Hog comp, and then they just lost to good Winston teams in scrims leading up to it. So Hog is definitely easier, I would say, as well. You're welcome. All right. Are we... Actually, did my cats eat? Hey, did you eat? Did you eat? I think they must have eaten. Senor, thank you for the sub, mate. I appreciate it. She's not freaking out, so I guess they must have had lunch. I honestly can't remember if Pepper fed them or not. Okay, let's go. Okay, one sec. Last review, y'all. Let's do this. Hey, how's it going? Can you hear me? I can't hear you if you're speaking. Apple, peaches, pumpkin pie. Wherever you are. Here am I. Falco Tank is typing. Uh-oh. I can hear you. 1 second. Okay. I can do that. Waiting patiently. Got 2 replay codes. Looks like we have some potential Rhine chat. That's gonna be exciting. I would love to coach an actual Rhine VOD. That would be really fun. What are some VODs I'd like to coach? I'd like to coach an actual Rhine VOD. I'd like to coach an actual Junkrat VOD. Brig VOD might be cool too, but we haven't had one of those yet. Let's see here. You know, Hanzo might be fun too. We haven't had an actual Hanzo VOD. That would be fun. That would be a lot of fun too. Yeah, no worries. Still got headset issues, y'all. Do I have any highlights worth showing here? Oh man, look at these highlights, y'all. These are old. What is this? 2021? Oh, the Google eyes. This is an old clip. Oh, Overwatch 1. Oh my goodness gracious. That was cracked. I forgot about that one. Zen one shot. I guess they saved him from way back in the day. Oh, this feels so old. I may be in the minority, but man, these visuals feel so clean. Oh my goodness gracious. Rhine sleep. Why would that be a highlight? Who are you? I don't know. That's a good question. Birdring's got nothing on me. Oh my gosh! That's sleep! And that was, I remember that. That was actually, that was intentional too. That wasn't a promise, guys. That was intentional. Oh, this one's got the highlight music too. Missing every shot. Awesome. Uh-oh. Ha ha! Trash can. Sigma 4K. Uh-oh. Oh dear. That was okay. Wasn't anything flashy, to be honest with you. Flick sleep. This is fun. You see Ramattra trailer? I did. We're gonna try and talk a little bit about the Ramattra gameplay in a little bit later, potentially. Ah, that wasn't that good. It was just like a 90-degree flick. It wasn't that impressive. What SR am I? I used to be, when I played seriously, which I haven't played since like 2018, was GM. On. Oh! 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 But I'm playing a little bit right now. So right now in ranked, here's where I'm at right now in ranked. I'm playing about once a week. I play for 5, 6, 7, 8 games. About once a week.
Hello?
Oh! Hello? I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Oh, now I can't hear you.
Okay. No worries. Drop arc. DPS arc. Yeah, we're getting there. I would say if I actually grinded every day, I could probably get to like Diamond 1 on tank and damage within about a week. But I only have time to play like once a week for like 3 or 4 hours, and I take turns with each role. And if you guys haven't noticed, I'm also playing like Orisa, Hanzo. I'm like testing different heroes. Like Hanzo's been my newest experiment. And my biggest, proudest thing to say I can say about Hanzo is that I picked up Hanzo. I have like no time on Hanzo, and I grinded him for like 2 or 3 days, and I didn't lose my rank playing a brand new hero. But I was honestly like, how does Hanzo fit in Overwatch 2? So I wanted to legitimately test it out. Orisa is another one. I probably am gonna at some point gonna play Junker Queen as well. I just want to see how she actually plays. So yeah, it's far from optimal. Like playing 1 day per week is horrible. But I'm happy with the fact that I'm not like I think that these should be Diamond. I think given in a week or so, potentially, maybe. But I don't know. I'm a little bummed that I didn't get to Masters on support. I might get to Masters on support in my next placement though, so we'll see. I've only ranked up twice, I think, or 3 times. Damage is. Hello? Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, what's going on?
Perfect. Was nothing much. I'm looking through, bragging about my Plat gameplay. Oh my goodness, delightful replay codes here. Okay. Oh gosh, I see Reinhardt. This is making me happy. Let's.
Reinhardt one trick, I guess.
Okay. Anybody that has tank in their name is generally a Reinhardt player. Like it's just there's just a lot of Sigma male energy that's just kind of I would say
main when I first started this game back in 2016.
Oh, okay. So let's start with the big question. So first off, you're the gifted sub guy. I have to treat you with respect, which is, man, that's gonna suck. So let's start with this. What do you hope to get out of the session? Your form, you said deeper understanding of the game, understanding my weaknesses, and being able to recognize them consistently. You can elaborate. Okay, well, please elaborate.
So I started playing comp seriously. Like I had the game back in 2016, but didn't really play last year. So it's been a year playing comp and the ups and downs of trying to learn this game. I mean, to be honest, it's been a struggle. I mean, you get lost, especially when you're playing a melee character in a FPS. So
yeah. Tell me about it. I got you. So what have you learned so far, especially transitioning to serious and transitioning to Overwatch 2 at the same time?
Honest, I found your YouTube and just watched every single VOD review from like 5 years ago through all the different metas and any Reinhardt info and tank info.
Yep.
Watched all that. Did a lot of like your Twitch streams.
Okay.
And everything I've learned up into that point, I've kind of put into my game. And then,
Okay. How is that? How do you feel that has gone? Like, let's not say in terms of the rank, but your general understanding of the game.
well, I mean, it's helped out, honestly, playing behind cover. If I think about it, especially with Ryan, like the shield maintenance was huge. I would stay out in no man's land like an idiot, and why I was hard stuck, silver or gold. Yeah, that's pretty much. I'm self-taught. I don't really I don't do VOD reviews that much because I don't know what I'm looking at, and that's really like the core of what I'm trying to accomplish is so when I go back to my games and I look at them, I know what I'm looking at and I understand like, oh yeah, I was out of position or why am I striking, the wall,
right.
something, my micro and stuff like that to dial that in.
Right. Okay. Well, we'll take a look at that then. It's obviously like it's good to have a good big picture understanding of the game, but it's even better to have an understanding of your own gameplay and what you need to actually lack on. Like you have to be very careful about not being the educational consumer that is not able to actually implement it in your own gameplay. As coaches, we're the biggest egregious examples of that. But I would love, I mean, it depends on what you're going for, right? If you really truly are, like, let's just jump ahead right now, actually. If we jump ahead towards your goals, right? Climbing out of the lower ranks, where does that end? Or where's the first step for you, I guess, with that? Where do you want to be next month?
About rank-wise or just...
Yeah, sure, rank-wise. Let's just say rank. You're not supposed to do that, but I don't care. Tell me what rank you want to be.
I would love to chase the higher elo ranks, like, the higher diamond, maybe low masters.
Okay. So diamond, low masters seems reasonable. Okay. And
get to Overwatch League or anything like that.
Yeah.
But to be honest, like, I love the strategy of this game. Like, this is pretty much the only game I play when I have time.
Yeah.
And it's like chess, but at 1,000 miles an hour.
Oh, yeah.
And
yeah. It's funny, you saying that is literally word for word. I worked with a sports psychologist about a year ago, and that's legitimately word for word what he said. Yeah. Playing chess at 1,000 miles per hour.
Sports all through high school, college,
What sports?
Everything, man. Swimming, basketball, volleyball, baseball.
What's your favorite?
Soccer and volleyball are my top two.
Nice. What positions did you play?
Keeper for soccer, and then volleyball I played beach, so it's just an ego game at that point.
Gotcha. That's awesome.
Which Overwatch satisfies those two things because soccer is very strategic,
yes,
and then volleyball is very ego. So
yeah, perfect. The strategic ego, the perfect marriage. That's awesome. Okay, so relatively competitive person, and this is like your competitive outlet, I guess, in a way, or one of your competitive outlets.
Yeah. Just because, I'm a working professional, I'm in tech, so like,
nice.
The standard corporate rat race, but this is my outlet because finding, a bunch of people to come together to play a sport's a little more difficult, especially after pandemic and all that.
100%. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about it. So you said climbing out of the lower rings, understanding the game better, and the best I could be at the game. Goal is not to be Overwatch League, so let's put it this way. It's for you. It might be you love the strategy side of things. Do you have a history in liking the strategy? You said you really liked soccer or European football for the strategy. Do you have a background in strategy in other games or other activities or other work-related stuff?
I play chess. I mean, obviously, but that's one of the games I do love, and I played since I was a kid. And creative workarounds to solve a problem is kind of the nature of my real life job. So this is this encapsulates that in a game, because if you're, going up against an Orisa, you can either swap off Rein or you can figure out how to outplay the Orisa. I mean, that's in real time. Like that's the serotonin injection I love.
Yeah. Let me try and graph exactly where you are. You want to be a good player, not a great player or the best Overwatch League level player, but good player at the game. But you would love to have a great understanding of how the game works beyond even where you can necessarily play. Is that
exactly?
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
I mean, like when I watch sports, you watch football, all the different plays when a foul's committed before the ref throws, and then you can talk about it. Like that kind of theory crafting is what I enjoy, because
I agree.
All that knowledge, so then I can make that right decision to fire strike the Kiriko that just TP.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, 100% can relate to that. I mean, obviously, considering the line of work I'm doing, I coach players that are way better than I ever was and or ever will be at the game, and that's just I don't mind. That doesn't bother me. I want to be good at the game. I enjoy being relatively good at the game, and you want to be able to get there as well. So what we'd like to do is we'd like to find out right now, prioritize what you're lacking, either in terms of understanding that's preventing you from getting to be better at the game, or more likely your understanding is decent enough, but then your actual execution, your skill set isn't good enough. And then we need to highlight what you need to prioritize in training to fix that discrepancy. Because the way you are as a person, what you enjoy, there will always be that discrepancy between what you know and what you can do. That's okay. However, we would like to close that discrepancy down, or at least very least find out how much do you actually know, and versus how much can you do. You know what I'm saying?
And I don't know as well, because you don't know what you don't know.
Exactly. You might be the type of person that, because you've consumed a lot of my content, you know every single niche strategy about Sojourn in the game, and that helps you as Rein. But maybe especially because I haven't coached a lot of Rein recently, maybe you're missing something really, really important with Reinhardt.
Correct. Yeah, no, Ryan's definitely my favorite, and then Sigma and Winston. Those are the other two. And then I played Orisa in Overwatch 1, and she was in my top 3 until the rework, and then I prioritized Sigma a little more.
Got it.
So I was playing off tank at the end of Overwatch 1.
What do you think about the Orisa rework, by the way?
I love it. I think it's the best thing, and I'd love to just, play her all the time, but certain comps don't really allow it, because
Which comps?
I'm a skill tank. Yeah.
Which comps don't feel as good with Orisa?
Her ball comp's great, poke comp's good, but I feel like the dive comp I'm still trying to figure out with Orisa, because she never really dove before. So now we're diving with Orisa, or we can, if you position yourself correctly. So that's the one I'm. She's like a heavier Doomfist in a sense.
Yeah, she does have that capability to dive, which is obviously, like you said, unique. Okay, let's look at your training schedule here. So Tuesday through Saturday or Sunday sometimes, with training range unranked play, 30 minutes. So that's your warm-up. And then ranked for 4 to 5 hours depending on the day and how I'm playing. So let's break this down step by step. So you have Monday as your off day, and Sunday sometimes as an off day as well, correct?
Yeah, it's an option with football. That's because I don't want it to I don't want Overwatch to consume my life, which it has. I've done it as a second job and put 40 hours a week into it.
Right.
That would
it
wasn't giving me any benefit. I was down in rank, and it didn't make any sense.
Well, it's all about the intensity, not about the quantity, right? And also, as being somebody who is, this is the thing. Whenever I coach older, do you mind if I ask how old you are?
Oh, yeah, I'm 32.
32, okay. So, this is just how people are. When you get older, you expand as a person. You have more skill sets. There's different things that you enjoy doing. There's more things in life that are important to you besides just the video game. And so that's just how it is. I'm going through that path. I'm 28 right now. I'm going through that path. So everybody goes through that path. So that's normal. And so, especially if your realistic goal is to get to something like, hey, I'd love to get to Diamond. Let's just see if we can get there. Playing 5 days a week, probably going to be fine. I'm not going to nitpick that one. Let's start with training range unranked play. So break me down. What does that mean? How does that usually work? Really the details here. Not how many times you headshot the bot, but I want the details.
Yeah. So I'll you put in some replay code, or not replay codes, training codes for these two aimbot workshop, the workshop codes. So I started using those, and those are really cool. But with Rhine, like I'm better when I'm in the midst of it, so I just kind of queue up unranked and go right in. If I'm gonna focus on Sigma that day, then I'll go into those bot workshops.
Okay. Okay.
Winston doesn't really get so much value again because it's positioning and
Yep.
diving on target, so I don't really warm up with him outside of just going into unranked.
Okay. Okay. So you skip on Ryan Winston days. You're skipping the training range, the Vaxta codes entirely, and then
Yeah.
the unranked. How does that usually go? Couple of games of quick play.
Yeah, like, 3, 4 games of quick play depending on how I'm feeling. And, if I come out and I end the game with 0 deaths, maybe I run one more just to see. And then jump right in because I don't want to waste good gameplay on unranked.
That's a good point. That's a good point. What does warming up in quick play usually mean to you? Because you said, I don't need to warm up Reinhardt, Winston mechanically. So what are you warming up?
So I'm just getting my head in the game because I'll either AFK play tank but still win. I just need to get in that mentality.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that's my thing because I always had focus issues. I've been playing piano since I was 4 years old. So like I know focus up, but I just need to get myself in that momentum, and that's what's worked at least.
Okay. Okay. Do you think that there is a possibility that you're spending too much time warming up with quick play, and that maybe after that first game that your brain is already alert and that you're just kind of a redundancy at that point?
Yeah, and that's me second guessing myself because I don't know if was this a fluke or was I like actually am I ready to go? And I don't really know what that benchmark is.
Well, that's the thing. It's intangible, right? I think the little red flag that I'm seeing is you're like, life ended with 0 death. Well, I don't care about your stats. Like all you're really doing in the quick play is you want to see, do I feel relatively alert? And if the answer is yes, then that's it. Go.
Okay.
I don't even need you to press tab for your stats at all. I don't care how well you play. I don't care, because obviously when you play well, the body's going to be like, hey, this is great, let's engage. That's going to be happening. The better you play, the more alert you're going to be. Like it's like you're giving yourself positive reinforcement, right? However, even if you play badly, but you still feel like I'm awake, call it quits, go into the game. To be honest with you, because if I talk about efficiency of time. You're a grown man. You have to be. There's no point going in that long. And if that means that I'm still playing 4 to 5 hours of comp, okay, that's a ton of comp. Well, then fine. In comp 20 minutes earlier because you're ranked that much faster and you have more time to do other stuff. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that. So, and then usually, is it really truly 4 to 5 hours, 5 days a week?
Yeah.
Wow.
Month, I think I put 30, 40 hours in.
Okay. Do you feel fatigued? Does that catch up with you at all?
Not really, oddly enough. I'm very good at, the resilience aspect. Like and I don't sleep that much, but that's been my schedule for my normal waking hours anyway for real jobs. So yeah, I get like 5 to 7 hours a night, but it's optimal. Okay. I don't feel sluggish. I don't feel like my days down. Fair enough. These review codes, these were done last night, so they're the most recent ones.
Excellent.
And I took like a 2-day, 3-day break. Hadn't played any Overwatch over the holidays. Happy belated Thanksgiving, by the way.
Thanks. You too.
And so that's the story on these.
Interesting.
I just needed a reset, and I think I played well, but I still saw myself getting lost.
Yeah.
Even like watching him again earlier today just to make sure. I was like, I was lost there, or I whiffed that,
One more question for you with training really fast before we get too far ahead.
What happened? Sorry.
One more question for you with training before we get too far ahead. When you say you're ranking for 4 or 5 hours, is that 4 or 5 hours straight, or do you take short breaks?
Yeah, I take the breaks that are the queue times.
Okay. Do you physically break, or you are still in game engaged during the breaks?
Like a 5-minute break after an hour or two, but 10-minute break. But I'm usually typically I'll 5 stack or I'll find 4 that communicate, because that's the real big part of Overwatch that I love is the team play. Sports. So I enjoy that, and so we'll lock in for 3, 4, 5 hours depending on the day. My schedule.
Interesting. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to run an experiment. I want you to change very little about your training schedule, but I want you to tweak different things and see how it plays out. Number 1, if you can write this down later, whatever, doesn't matter. Number 1. Okay. Number 1, that quick play thing I was telling you. Fewer quick play warm-ups. When you feel alert, go. See how that goes for a week. And if you really miss that quick play, a little bit longer extended warm-up, that's fine. Number 2, I want you to be taking more frequent breaks, not long, but take the queue time as an actual time to stand up, sit up, walk around, get some sun, grab some water, do a few push-ups, something like that. Do that for a week, see how that goes. Number 3, I want you to only solo queue for, I won't even say a full week with this one, just a couple of days and see how it goes. Those are the 3 experiments that you're going to run. I'm not going to tell you what I expect or what I think about any of those. I just want you to try and see what happens. And then what you do is you'll take that information and you run with it. And almost forgot. Number 4, I'm really gonna be pushing your limits here with this one. I want you to sleep 6 hours for a whole week.
Dude.
6 hours for a whole week and just see how it goes. 1 week.
Wow.
See how it goes.
All right, 1 week.
And see how it affects your play, if it does at all. Now, I do know people who truly have locked in at that amount of hours, and it really does not bother them whatsoever, but I'm just curious. And you should be curious as well. Okay. Now, one last thing I want to talk about before we get to the last question is, you said you tend to stack, because that's the type of Overwatch that you love to play. Respect.
Yeah.
Everybody on the same page, communicating. That's awesome.
Yeah. I enjoyed that aspect just because, I mean, that's honestly, I would say, like 85% of the reason I play this game.
Yeah.
The teamwork, when it comes together, it's like, watching soccer and an amazing goal coast to coast. Like,
have you ever tried joining a team?
I don't know how to do all of it, to be honest. I've seen people talk like, oh yeah, I do scrims like on your VOD reviews, and just am either A, lazy and didn't really look that up, or
Overwatch Universe. I'm going to send you a couple of Discords that you can look into. I think that those might have lower ranked teams that you could maybe potentially look into joining. I don't know the quality of those teams. I don't know how often they would scrimmage, but hey, if it's even once a week for a couple of months, maybe it's worth at least looking into.
So I have a question for you. Yeah. What's the benefits of scrim versus ranked? The
benefits of scrim versus ranked is because scrim is just fun. That's it. It doesn't necessarily make you, it allows you to work with the same group of people and to do how you know how you said you're pursuing the stack of players to stack with, right? But now you have a stack of players that you're stacking with consistently over a week, and you play 5 or 6 maps, and you guys can talk compositions, you guys can try different things, you guys can do little VOD reviews as a team. That's the benefit of scrims.
Yeah, that makes sense actually.
Yeah. And not everybody is able to get, I don't know how, well, first off, this is a good question tying to that question from you is, how often are you able to find a stack of group of people within ranked that are able to communicate and work with you? How often does that happen?
It's consistent because of one main factor. It's console, not computer.
Got it. Okay. That's interesting.
Xbox has an LFG built into each game and has hundreds of different.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So then maybe the scrim thing isn't as necessary for you, because most people you're talking about a luxury that most people just don't have. So then maybe it's not as important for you. So anyway, but I figured worth throwing out there.
Yeah, and you do definitely get bad teams for sure. Don't get me wrong. Like, you get a throwing lobby sometimes, and you just have to gracefully back out and go. So like, it's inconsistent, and there are times where I'm spending half an hour trying to find a group.
That was going to be my next question, by the way, is if it goes really, really, truly poorly, and the game is people are not listening, or you don't have that experience, how does that usually first off, how does that usually affect how your ability to play, and then your, I guess, I don't want to say mental, but like your attitude with the game at that point?
I'm the type of person, and thank God for sports for this, I leave it on the field. So like tilt, I'll have it for sure in game, and recognize it and deal with it because you have to. Otherwise, you're gonna play like crap and you're gonna shatter a wall. I mean,
true. Okay.
So, you know, it is what it is. Whatever the result is, if I can't find a 5-stack, I will solo queue because it may be flawed logic, but if I can get into the higher elos, those LFGs that I can join will be with more experienced people. So
true. That's true.
You know, that's at least my working theory. So that's what I've been trying to do. I've gotten up to now. I'm at Plat 5 now. So
hey, all right, congratulations. That's awesome. That's awesome. I was just about to ask.
I think I was mid gold when I submitted it to you.
Yeah, that was the form. Yeah. Okay. So that, I mean, that really was my question, not the rank so much, but as like you're talking about like, this is why I love the game. That's great. I think that's awesome. But obviously the danger is if that isn't what's happening, like how are you able to deal with the like that, right? Like you're kind of exposing yourself to the negative aspects of rank. But if you are able to deal with that and you're like, it doesn't bother me too much, I'm able to work through it and still able to focus on myself, that's what I need to hear. You kind of see what I'm saying?
And I think with the one tank, it's a lot easier because then it's like, all right, am I feeding? Am I turbo feeding, or am I playing too passive? Am I not gauging? You know, whatever.
Yeah, I got you. Okay, well then that's all I really have to ask. I guess the last question I really have to ask is then, what do you feel is holding you back? Understanding mostly, I assume that's probably changed in the last 2 weeks, hopefully. I need to have a better grasp of why I do the things that I do. I'm still in the instinctual phase of decision making so far. Do you want to elaborate on that, or do you think that's mostly accurate?
It is mostly accurate. The instinctual phase is more of like, this fire strike around this corner feels right, given the fact that it's been a certain amount of time that they left spawn. So I'm gonna go. You know, like those kind of like instinct. I do those. Like I try to instinctual the shatter if I'm going up against a Ryan comp. You know, and try to get his rhythm.
Okay.
His rhythm. So, yeah, that's where I'm still at. I don't. Sometimes you'll probably see it like, why did you do this? And I'm like, I don't know. I have no idea. But felt like it was something I should do.
Okay, sure, fair enough. Well, we will target that directly then. Pick a replay code from here. I want to do some Reinhardt. So pick one of these where you feel like might be useful to look at.
So Coliseo was 100-0. I don't know if you want.
Which direction?
Our direction.
Okay.
Yeah. That's why I put ego in it, because it seemed like ego.
Gotcha. Fair enough. We'll skip that one for now. Maybe we'll have time to go through it later.
Yeah. Circuit was good with Rhine. Dorado was good with Rhine. Dorado would probably be the one, unless you want to do Control, Li Jiang Tower. That was a Rhine as well. So Dorado or Li Jiang. It's up to you if you want to do.
You pick. You're the boss.
Let's go traditional then, Dorado.
All right, Dorado it is. Let's get this code pulled up then. M3. Okay, I will start streaming on Discord. Okay, so you tell me, what is the Reinhardt good at?
Taking space.
Okay, what does that mean?
So just, making sure, like, I like to use my shield to try to zone off angles, so I can to push up, or they can, get more set on high ground, or whatever the case may be. So I try to, now when that's pre-fight, when I'm ready to engage, then I'm swinging and making sure that my supports are with me. So because I do tend to get aggressive streaks with Reinhardt. So
yeah, fair enough. That's good. Otherwise you wouldn't be able to play the hero well. Okay, what do you think about your charge and your fire strike usage? How do those kind of abilities play?
So my fire strike, I'm pretty decent with the fire strikes. I'm around probably like 40 to 50%.
Okay.
Accuracy. And then my charges, sometimes I will charge to Timbuktu to try to get a kill. Out sometimes, and sometimes it doesn't, but I've seen success with it. But I typically try to look for the short pins. The short pins are the most deadly.
Have you been able to exploit the cancel when necessary?
Right. Yeah, no, the cancel is the best thing that Ryan's ever gotten in the last years, in my opinion.
Agreed. 100% agreed. Yeah.
It's such a good feint now, and it adds so much more dynamic to his kit.
It really does. It really does. Even the double fire strike just gives you that much more range, the ability to like actually contribute in ways that Ryan hasn't been able to before. So, okay, seems all good. Let's try and create space by either zoning out enemies from powerful positions or baiting a lot of attention to yourself that basically takes the heat off of your team, right?
Right.
I don't know, did you see the paint job I did on space with the Reinhardt player? I think I put on YouTube a little bit ago with space in Overwatch. You see that?
Oh, I haven't watched it yet.
You got to check it. It's good because basically, if I do say so myself, because basically the idea is that you either want to directly create space by clearing out enemies on good positions, or you want to just be such a lethal threat with your hammer that the enemies in those good positions are distracted in shooting you and not using those good positions to shoot the rest of your team. Do you kind of see what I'm saying? So you're either baiting attention, being like, hey, shoot me, guys, or you are actually knocking them off of those high grounds or those off angles. Now, obviously, you don't have the mobility to do that, which makes it hard. But that's kind of the goal. Okay, you have any questions?
No, I'm ready.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Me too. Now, the funny thing is people think Reaper counters tanks, but if you're good with your swings, you can force this Wraith so very easily.
Reapers are my favorite to play against. I looked up all the quote-unquote counters and made sure I was always beating them.
Yes, yes. And I think the mistake here is not the fact that you go for like a fire strike here. I think it's just like, I think you didn't see him wraithing.
Yeah.
And he baits you. He wraiths like he's backing up, but he doesn't actually back up. He wraiths and he jumps right back in, right behind you. If you hit this guy with a hammer, he dies. It's that simple. So just being a little bit more aware, this would definitely help. It's hard too because you got a million things on your screen right now, but this is the big one. Nice pen. Where's that Genji? Okay, I was like, where the heck is he? Moira fades, Moira jukes. You see, you look at the enemy composition, and I'm gonna be honest with you, especially on a map like this with this much verticality, this is gonna be tough. Because look at their heroes that they've got. What is tough about those heroes?
Yeah, they got Diva, mobile. All of them are mobile.
Yeah, every single one. Reaper might present himself to you like he did last time, but the reason why the mobility hurts is because they might play in a way to where you can't hit them with your hammer. And that's how you're going to create space. So think about that. The reason why I think this is actually an excellent VOD for you to go over is because obviously mobile is going to happen a lot. And not only mobile, but look at the stupid map we're on right now, you know?
Yeah.
Right? So then how do you deal with this? What is like a good general rule?
I try to play around my team, at least for this one. I mean, we do have a Farah, so she can do her own thing, and I think she was pretty much pocketed for a lot. And then Widow was doing her own thing on high ground.
Right.
And Moira was kind of pocketing me. I think that's how that went. So, like, with that strategy, and we were all in comms, too, as well, which was nice. So I was able to just say, you know, like, if I'm leaving payload, let them know. Stick to payload at least through this because there's not much I can do. It'll take so much time to get high ground, and they're not really holding high ground either, which was nice.
True, that is nice.
But like on a typical where they're holding high ground with like a Sigma, I would have to just shield that corner right there. Yeah. On the payload and you know try to inch our way forward. It's a lot more painful for sure.
100%. Here's a theoretical question for you. So you guys just won the fight. Congratulations, nice job. Now,
thank you.
There's nothing stopping the enemy team from going straight to cart. Okay. But there's also nothing stopping them. And as you get to a rank where players are going to be better and better and better and more skilled, where do you think that Echo might position next fight?
Behind us, high ground.
Behind us, high ground. She might be here, right?
Yeah, and then she can go right into bridge and
so
shoot us. Yeah.
Right now, there's nothing happening right now, right? There's nothing happening right now. You don't need to be protecting the team or pushing payload. So my question theoretically for you right now is, do you have time right now or is there any drawback for you right now to go take high ground, at least to start?
Not at all.
Right.
For sure. Especially after the diva, boosted that way. I could have just down that lane and worked my way up and pulled me up top.
Right. Yeah. If your Moira can come with you, maybe we can get these kills. Even if not, even if you just pin over here, right, and then walk up here, and then you're just going to stand here, right, and you're just waiting. Again, what does this help with your team if you just stand here?
It denies the high ground, where Reinhardt would never really have the chance to play. Honestly.
Right. Exactly. Now, what happens if the enemy team doesn't use the high ground and goes straight to cart? What do?
I can drop.
You drop. No harm done, right? It costs you nothing. So that's just something that you're going to have to find the balance for. Now, obviously, mid-fight, you might not have time to go take high ground. You don't have the mobility for it. But I think what we have here is you have free opportunities between fights to go to the best powerful position, plant yourself like a bastion of strength there, like the beacon, plant the flag, Iwo Jima, and that's your space, and you are the best here in the game at controlling that space, and that protects your team by making those powerful positions hard to get to. And if the enemy team is kind of stupid and they don't use those powerful positions, guess what? You jump off. You're good.
And the Widow gets that lane for free. True. Shield and AFK.
Exactly. Consider this: even if you weren't pushing this Moira, if you could stand right here and hold shield for your Widow, or let's actually see what happens here. What if you could hold this high ground? Okay, the Diva's here, but you might even have information on. Oh, I see Reaper, right?
Yeah.
You wouldn't see this Reaper if you were on cart, which is where you are right now. Now, right now, obviously, there's stuff going on. The Diva's pushing cart, so I'm not saying what you're doing now is bad, but just food for thought. It's something that you can maybe experiment with a little bit. Nice. Rolled. Alrighty. This guy's about to get smashed. Brilliant. I love that. By the way, I love the skin. Excellent skin choice.
My favorite.
Love it.
Has that train sound.
I know. That's literally why I just said that. I was like, oh, he's got the train skin. Let's go.
That one, zombie, is probably my two favorite.
The zombie one, you said?
Zombie's good.
Oh yeah.
It's
He's got so many good skins. I was doing that tier list with SVB a while ago, and I think he placed like A tier with his skins. So many good skins. All right. Yeah, I mean, this is it. You guys are winning the fight. Just keep going. Keep swinging the hammer. A lot of times that's how you're protecting your team, right? Like, I think a lot of people get the wrong mindset with Ryan, where I'm sure you probably hear this a lot of times in your rank, where, oh, protect the team, shield your team, right? But that's not what your shield's for. The way you protect your team is making sure the enemy team is hurting because you're hitting them with your hammer and they have to run away. Or, like we saw previously, you're in a position that makes them dangerous and you're preventing them from getting those positions. That's how you do it, right?
Yeah, body died in Overwatch 1.
Right, exactly. Now, this is the tricky thing. Now, my question for you is, do you think that you have the time or capability to safely get to this high ground to hold this position on this map, on this point, at this time?
I thought about that right there when I was looking for that shatter underneath the high ground, and I felt like no, because the Diva's off to the left. I saw her, so if I take that right and try to go high ground,
might take too long.
I can leave everybody on cart.
Yeah, maybe that echo beats you up there too. Yeah. So this is a perfect example of like where we talked about like the gray area. I don't want you to worry so much about the gray areas right now. I want you to worry about the very obvious answer. If there's nothing to do right now, I might as well. Right now, Sojourn, right? Play for cart. How do you usually use shatter, by the way?
So that depends on game to game, but typically I look for the biggest shatter I can get in a reasonable amount of time. Like if I'm holding shatter for a minute, there's an issue.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
If I can get a 3K or a 2K, I mean, I typically take it. If Diva's low, like in this one, I don't remember actually what I do, but I just look for the biggest value in moment, because I can build shatter. I built shatter in under 30 seconds before, so I know how to.
Cow.
Yeah, I've done that once. It was nuts. It was hitting every hammer, playing super aggressive, and having a Mercy and
that'll do it.
Lucio pocket.
That'll do it.
But I just swung my hammer for 15 seconds and it was nuts.
Okay, well, a kill is a kill, right? Whether it's 3k or a 1k. I think you said even 2k there, but even if it's a 1k, if you solo shatter this map and he dies, that increases your chance. Right, that increases your chance of winning by a very, very large percentage, especially in Overwatch 2. So take it. Solo shattering a D.Va, maybe not as good. Not because the D.Va is not a good kill, but because maybe, like you said, if the D.Va's low, sure, but the D.Va might be able to survive the shatter. That's the problem.
Exactly. Yeah, if I can't one-shot a tank, I'll shatter. Try to shatter.
Yeah. Now this shatter actually turns out quite good. Now I will obviously say that, oh, you didn't mean to shatter the supports, obviously. But what do you think about the shatter on the D.Va at this point in time? Let's look.
All right, I was aiming for the supports.
Well, oh, you were aiming for the supports?
Yeah.
Okay, well, never mind. Screw that. Okay, let's just say this way. Even if you were not aiming for the supports, you hit the D.Va at point blank range. Is this D.Va dead?
She will be shortly.
She will be shortly. So even if you were not aiming for the supports, because you're able to get the headshot damage on the shatter, which sounds crazy to say, but then yes, this D.Va is dead. So this becomes a situation where like a solo shatter, even if it had not been on the supports, would have been perfectly fine. Nice shatter. GG's.
If I can D.Va, he throws lamp, and nothing happens. So it was really lucky that we.
Yes.
Coordinated that problem.
Right. Exactly. No support cooldown could have used the save D.Va. Suzu's down, Lamp is down, it's over.
Yeah. Because that's the other thing, like Ryan Shatter just gets killed by Suzu.
Yeah, drives me nuts. Okay, now right now, I have a question for you. You know what I'm going to ask you?
What do I do now?
What do you do now?
Probably not go back to cart, but I'm going to go back to cart.
You are going to go back to cart. Now, why should you not go back to cart?
Because I'm so close to taking that high ground,
yes.
But I thought that corner was dangerous on the left side. I didn't even know the Ashe was there, but that corner I was going to go for. Yeah,
you just killed these suckers. That Reaper's dead too. They are in no position to punish you for going to this high ground. I understand what you're saying. You're like, oh no, I don't want to run to that echo, and we saw this earlier. But you've got loads of time, and you're close, and the cart is moving. Get up there. And the worst case scenario, you drop and push cart. But you know, if you're here and they try and push this high ground, that's not going to end very well for them, is it? Now, let's see what happens. Disaster.
I could have just stopped that with a shield.
Not only could you have stopped it, you could have killed her.
Yeah. 21. She didn't even go for the health pack.
No. And the funny thing is like this is really truly like the stars aligned for my coaching here. I don't expect that to happen every time. You don't either. But it's the chance that it could happen 20, 30, 40% of the time. Right. And in the situations when maybe it doesn't happen quite that egregiously, your presence there still is going to be a positive influence. And then in the worst case scenarios, it's still neutral. We just drop off. Nothing happens. Yeah.
So it's like Winston when he gets high ground, you wait for his jump back and then you drop on him.
Exactly. Yeah. You sit here, you're like, oh shoot, they're all here. My team is on cart. My team can't. I'm gonna back up. Then I'm gonna drop. Okay, that's okay. Disaster averted. But here, right. We could have prevented that. You were not controlling space, were you?
What?
You were not controlling space, were you?
No, absolutely.
Right.
And so this is a prime example of what I when I get quote unquote lost, and I'm like, all right, what should I be doing? Well, I'm pushing cart. That's good enough, I think. But that's it.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, let me go take high ground and
right.
Widow's up there and she's about to get.
It's about the low-hanging fruit, right? We saw the previous fight where it wasn't really clear what you should do. The high ground was too far away. Probably just sit on cart. And then at that point, okay, you're going to sit in cart, be the best cart that you can be. Take no damage, do as much damage as possible. Find anything that you can push. Protect your team, protect yourself, hit your fire strikes, hit your shatters, right? And you did. You did a great job. This situation, though, you had the opportunity to not be cart bot, a really big opportunity, even at the point where you were thinking about it and you missed it, and we might lose the fight as a result. Right? You are, unfortunately, that's just the hero. You are going to be a cart bot sometimes. That's just the hero. But you need to be looking for times when you cannot be a cart bot, because maybe you can't have an impact every fight versus these crazy dive comps, but you can have an impact every other fight, every 3 fights. And this fight might be lost just because of that one mistake, and that would suck. Oh, you almost got him. That's where the pin cancel helps so much, Yeah. Just being able to, like, not end up in Narnia or Timbuktu.
canceled, and I've had like a Lucio, and I just didn't see it because visual clutter. I don't even talk about it.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Okay, true story. I saw that happen in an Overwatch League scrim, where they
No
had
way.
somebody pinned and they like messed up and they fat fingered the shift and they canceled it. And actually not in a scrim, in a match. It happened in a match. I saw it in a match.
Those are the worst. I feel so bad.
It's the worst feeling.
Yeah.
Now, this is the interesting thing here. Because this is where you have to, like, with the serotonin, the dopamine, the the cocaine, I don't know what's like trickling in here, but you have to be really careful about this right here. Who needs to be swung on right now? Who is the most dangerous and most killable target on your screen right now?
Kiriko, she has no TP and she's almost half.
Yes.
Yeah.
And or who? Who? I'm sorry, cut out.
Kiriko has pin. I have pin and fire strike.
Yes.
And
Yes.
That's
who else?
Yeah.
If you can't get to Kiriko, look at your screen.
Just TP, but I don't think he still has Wraith.
I don't care.
Still pin it. Yeah, because if Kiriko dies because they're lying.
Right. Well, not just that. Even if you don't pin here, if you just swing on him, this guy is dangerous. Make him Wraith. Don't let him play aggressively. So right now, again, your whole mindset here is not just about getting kills, but about creating space. D.Va is not very killable for you, right? And right, and she's not as dangerous as a Reaper. So this guy is more killable, and he's also more dangerous. So therefore, that needs to become your target. Now, obviously, you're probably going to have to do a little bit of shield dancing here, but you need to tie this guy's attention up when he's here, not this guy. Now, if she's one, sure, but she's not. So I'm curious to see, do you see how much effort and time this is taking? Now you're out of position, and guess what? She goes right past you, and look at this Reaper. Crying out loud, this guy should have no business being here. No business at all.
Yeah.
Right? So, okay. Get the Lucio. Nice. Your Widow's popping off. Nice. Okay. So it's about finding the most dangerous target on the field that you can actively swing on to create the most space. Now, the Kiriko is a great target, even though she's not dangerous. Why?
She doesn't have TP, and it takes a support off the table. So that's a whole bunch of stuff.
I just reviewed a Winston earlier. I don't know if you saw the one on Paraíso, and yeah, and basically the mindset was you have to find the balance between what is the most dangerous thing that I can pressure for my team, and what is the most killable thing that I can pressure for my team. The Kiriko wasn't dangerous, but she was very killable, like you said, right? The Reaper wasn't as killable because of the Wraith, right? But he was very dangerous, right? The D.Va was neither. D.Va was neither dangerous nor was she killable. So, yeah, that was a target that you focused.
It was taken care of by the Moira, so I could have just left it.
Yes.
At that point.
Yes. So either you need to be looking for dangerous or killable targets, not ones that are neither. Nice. So be careful. I mean, obviously, I assume you would have canceled this pin here if things got hairy. But you still need to be careful because this is what you're concerned about, right? Well, I guess you guys are just abandoning cart. Are you guys just abandoning cart? Okay, fair enough. Never mind. Forget I said anything.
we thought that we had good picks, so we were just going to play super aggressive. And
listen, I respect it. I'm legitimately, unironically, I totally respect it. I think this actually makes sense because look at your pharmacy's position. Look at your Moira's position. I'm down with it. If you guys want to take the fight right now, screw cart. We'll push it later. I'm cool with it. Never mind them. Nice. Okay. Sure. No, I can't argue with success. Now, I'm going to say one more thing. One more time. Yeah. Where could you theoretically be?
I could be right in their spawn door saying hello.
Well, you could. Yeah, I mean, well, that's where you're going right here, right?
Yeah, just hold that corner right.
I got a question for you, though.
What, you think go high ground?
That's what I'm not so sure about. Because I don't think anybody in their team is going to use it, nor is anybody on your team actively using it.
Yeah, because our Widow's pretty much outside of second point. She was on the floor, I think.
Yeah. I would consider at least building the habit of going high ground in situations like these where there's nothing for you to do, so you might as well just path up top and start here. And that doesn't really, again, doesn't cost you anything. And maybe your Widow goes, oh, hey, there's a Rhine shield up here. I'm going to go up here, right?
And just have everything for free.
Yeah. If you have that, because again, right now, there's literally no reason not to. But I don't think it's the most important time right now, but I'm still going to point it out because it's free space, right? It's might as well. You lose nothing by being there. So maybe something to consider. That is not going to go well for them. Oh, maybe it is. I lied. How on earth did your pharmacy? You guys got nuked. What happened here? I want to see this from the third person perspective here.
Oh, it was Bob.
Well, that was not very intelligent. Look at your fire. Watch this. And then your Mercy. Look at your Mercy. She's just like, oh, okay, well. Oh my goodness, that's delightful. Okay, well, you know what? You beefed a couple of fights already, but this one we could officially say was not your responsibility. That was hilarious. Okay.
We got a good amount of ults out though.
That is true. That is true. You got Bob out, you got Death Blossom out. Those are two big ones. Alrighty. Get him. This guy's an idiot. Easy kill. But Reaper counters Reinhardt, right? Right? Alright, let's nice. We even blocked the javelin there. Nice. Good. Idiot. She got rolled. Okay. Now, do you go high ground here, or do you just stuff the choke? Look at the card.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Stuff the choke. Easy cap. Nice job. Very, very, very nice. The best part is you get to go in their spawn. That's the best part. Yeah. Okay. Any questions so far?
No, not really.
What are you seeing so far from what we've talked about? What's kind of standing out to you?
So in the downtime when it's not pre-fight, no poking, like we're just either like soft reset, I guess.
Sure.
I need to be going to more advantageous or seemingly advantageous positions. And
I love that description, by the way, because it doesn't necessarily mean high ground and only high ground.
Like stuff I wouldn't be able to normally do if I'm in the middle of a fight.
Right.
I can't like underneath that archway. I can't just take 15 seconds to go up top. My entire team's gonna get melted.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, what else are you seeing? Remember what happened on? I think this is actually a really crucial fight. Actually, what happened right here? Remember this?
Point?
The diva.
Oh right, finding the most deadly
and the most what?
Killable.
Yes, that's the balance, right? Perfect. Okay. Yeah. Love to see it. I also love to see this right here. Look at you, right? No point. Why would you go cart? You don't care about cart right now, right? Just win the. You guys got high ground. Use the high ground first. Stop cart later.
So much for doing this too. It's so crazy. Like if I solo you and they're like, "Why is our Rhine up top?" And I'm like,
people don't understand the game. That's okay. That's okay. Be the strong beacon, and then as you improve and get better and win more games, you'll have fewer people questioning decisions like these. In fact, they'll be flaming you if you don't do this.
You were actually the reason I started going high ground with Rhine. I never went high ground until one VOD you did on a Reinhardt way back when it was like watch Gibraltar.
Yeah.
The one.
Oh, jeez.
We're like, go high ground. And I'm like, I don't know why I'm going high ground, but I guess I'll just go high ground because Philo said I'll figure it out later.
You'll do more there than you will do on the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although I will say you do have to play around what your team is like. If, for example, if you're here and everybody else is not there, then yeah, you got to adjust. But okay. All right. Looks good. Interactive Reinhardt gameplay. Widow drops. You drop with her. Love to see it. Sombra's in. Oh, you eliminated her translocator. What did she do here?
She just threw her she was just trying to jump around. It was weird.
Oh, she missed her translocator. It bounced. Oh, it bounced. Oh no! Oh my god! Did you see that? Look, it bounced off the corners. It just look how close this is. I feel bad for the Sombra actually. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Oh no! 1 pixel. I thought it was like, why is there translocator there? Oh, that explains it. You know, it's kind of funny. Here's the funny thing. You look at that and you're like, crap, right? Didn't work. But are you kind of creating space right now in a way?
I'm denying the space that they want.
Yeah.
And
why does the Summer want to be in this general vicinity? What did she want to do from his position right here? What did she want to do?
She wanted to attack me the first time, and then she wanted to get high ground and shoot down on the Mercy.
Yeah, and do you see what she's doing right now? She wants to hack and shoot your Mercy. So then you say no.
Yeah, that was purely instinctual when I heard it, because like with Ryan, you have to pin to peel. Like I peel for my backline personally. What I like to do, a lot of people don't. I've noticed, but yeah, with Ryan, I'll pin backwards and not even like I had no idea if she was still there or not. I just wanted to at least threaten.
It all depends on return on investment, right? It's like you have to ask yourself, will I do more beating the Sombra with my hammer than I would do beating this on a bat for my hammer? You know? Yeah. I'm not really sure. I don't know if you had the time to get to this on a BAP in time. So I think maybe it's okay now, but that's why the peeling question comes to mind. It's like, is it going to be better for me to pin back and deal with this flanker, or is it going to be better to make sure that the rest of the enemy team doesn't help that flanker? Those are the decisions you have to make.
And it helped that I got the notification that I killed the translocator, so I knew she wasn't going anywhere.
That is true. You killed translocator, so this is no longer just zoning them. This is an actual kill. That is true. Yeah. I love it. Excellent. Set the tone right from the start. This is how this game is going to go. All right. Big fan. All right. Do you go high ground here?
No.
Why not?
Absolutely not.
Why not?
Only because my entire team's on the ground right now.
Yeah, and what do you hear?
Stuffing their spawn room now.
So yeah.
I had to get back as quick as possible, and so like I didn't prioritize positioning, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you didn't have time. You needed to get into the fight. Now stop. Right. What are you doing right now? Who are you prioritizing?
D.Va.
You didn't even look, did you? No. There's a Bastion right here.
Yeah.
Right?
Sometimes I get these ego tank duels that I just want to...
Well, we saw that a little bit earlier. But I think the other thing is also, it's not just that it's the ego tank duel. I also think it's just because she's easy to hit right now, you're trying to hit her. And I think oftentimes that's a good rule, but you didn't even check to see if there's something also as easy that's more killable.
Yeah.
Right?
I think I was nervous because we were holding spawn so close that I wanted to get back and start, doing damage to the first person I saw, so we don't get rolled, because they have, we just went down one now, and I could have prevented that, honestly, actually. Yeah.
You could have, yeah. I mean, obviously a little bit of trollage, but also, like, are you going to turn this fight by beating a D.Va who's just going to fly away anyway?
No. Yeah.
You need to find, again, whatever's most lethal or whatever's most killable. And shockingly, to your starboard side, there's two of those targets, right? Look at that.
I would ever need, yeah.
Yeah, that's what you need right there. That's what's gonna kill your team, and that's what you're gonna kill at the same time. Stop hitting the D.Va. Yeah. And this applies, I think, this isn't just a D.Va rule either. I think this is just a general rule. You need to get in the habit of looking just for a brief second and kind of getting a read of who do I need to be pressuring. I mean, for example, like if this is not a D.Va, like let's just say this is like a Doomfist, I think the same rule applies, right? This is a Zarya. Yeah. I mean, a Zarya is tougher. Like let's say she's got charge. Maybe she's a little bit more of a threat than a D.Va is. But again, a Zarya at point blank or a Bastion at point blank, I'm still choosing Bastion, right? Yeah. I'm still choosing Bastion, right? So, oh. I think the fight was lost, but honestly, that's again another dopamine moment, Let's just. I just want to like quickly take a look at this. Ooh. Doesn't quite work out. Probably would have been wasted, but I don't care. Whatever. Go next. Huh. Make sure the fight's not lost before you press the Q. That's all. And the funny thing is in the heat of the moment, it's very hard to make those reads, right? However, how could you have made this read? When could you have made this read? Genji's dead. You see that?
Yeah.
You're down one.
Pull back. Why are we playing aggressive? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't need to say maybe you guys can't pull back. Okay, then this is just a dry fight. You ever heard of that term before?
What is that? Sorry.
Basically means you just don't use any ults. Guys, we're just going to lose this fight, but let's make them hurt. You know what I'm saying? Let's save our ults for next fight. You know, we've lost this fight. Unlucky, go next. You guys get the res, but then your Widow dies immediately afterwards. And then you're all 1 HP.
Yeah.
And then your Genji dies again. It's over. You know, it's over. It's okay. Like, you guys lost the fight, but guess what? The cart hasn't moved at all. So this was actually a really good result for you guys. 1.5 minute hold here is a long time. And guess what? To break this hold, look what they had to do. They had a Diva Bomb, right?
Yeah.
It would have been better here to just take the L. Okay, makes sense?
Yeah.
And that's something that you could do not in the heat of the moment, but as you just track the kill feed, and so then in the moment you know exactly what to do. You played baseball, right?
Yeah.
My dad used to always tell me you should know where you're throwing the ball before the ball is even hit, right?
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's the skill set that you need to do. In the moment, you saw a fat shot or you hit it, but you should have known leading up to that point that was never going to be the play, no matter if the opportunity presents itself or not.
Yeah.
Get her. Normally this isn't your job, but she's so freaking close, you know? Okay, let's go. Yes, 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 yes. You chose correctly.
Always the path of these payload maps.
Yeah, you ever seen The Last Crusade, Indiana Jones?
Yeah, of course.
Every time you swing on that diva, it's like, he chose poorly. You know, it's like, look at this guy, rolled. All right, nice. Well, that was fun.
Yeah.
You got it. It wasn't particularly hard. Okay.
It was buff. I never really saw her as like a threat when I was a Rhine. I don't know. Maybe I'm just comfortable with Rhine, but
Sombra?
No, Zarya.
Zarya. No. Zarya is a strong tank, but Reinhardt is one of the few tanks that does very well versus Zarya. Even in the pro levels, Reinhardt is generally considered a counter to Zarya. Because if you guys are able to get on and swing on her, she isn't as good at you as you are at close ranges.
Yeah.
So it's hard. I mean, obviously Shatter is tricky with all the bubbles and stuff, but... Woo, let's go! Now, I'm gonna ask you a question right now.
Mm-hmm.
Where are the enemy DPS? Where are the enemy threats?
I was tracking them right. They're still towards spawn because it was just Diva, if I remember correctly. And oh wow, I was horribly wrong.
Yeah. Now I do not expect you to track the Bastion because he was, to be honest with you, he was hard flanking.
Oh, he was.
He was. So we'll go back a little bit here. He was doing this number right here. You know.
Yeah.
However, that needs to be setting off little alarm bells. Where is this guy?
I haven't seen Bastion in 10 seconds.
Yes, because that's the guy. Because it's not just about tracking threats. That's also the guy that you want to hit with your hammer, right? So if you're just seeing supports in a tank, that you can't really deal with Sombra that much. But where is this guy? Right? Where is this guy? And that goes with Hanzos. That goes with Cassidy's, Reapers, everything. Right? You need to track, and not everything, but just the most important thing. Right?
Right.
There he is. He's in the background. It's like one of those Easter eggs in your favorite movies. You're like, oh man, I never caught that, right? It's like a horror movie. He's got to kill your Widow. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. Your Widow gets out. Cover! Cover. Your shield is the opportunity to get to cover. Your Mercy's standing there, or your Moira's standing there, but she's got Fade. Get to cover. Respect it. Like you, by the way, I'm sure this is something that you've dealt with many times playing versus Bastion. Bastion can be either overwhelmingly impressive or completely useless. It all depends on your cover usage. Like legitimately, it's just a cover check. If you got cover, you win. If you don't, you lose.
With this one, I think the Moira didn't have Fade, and if I remember correctly, she was like, "Can you shield?" But
okay. Right, but you could shield like here, or you could shield here.
Underneath.
Yeah. Significantly better. Lost fight. That's okay. Just get out. Well, maybe not lost fight. And these are the tough moments, right? Where you're like, this is lost, and then your Moira calls, and you're like, what do I do? It's okay. Yeah. It's okay. This happens in every ranked game and probably every other fight. You know what I'm saying? Just make the most of it. You know, just make them. Okay, we're gonna commit Cole. Well, then I'm gonna do my best to help the Cole. That's totally fine.
Right. Yeah.
It's not optimal, but it's the right move. Nice. No way! No way! She's in stealth. Oh my gosh. I said the horror movie, but I think actually you're the monster in this one. Oh jeez. All right. Well, that was
lucky.
That was a fun one. That was a fun one. Okay, so main takeaways. We've had obviously not the greatest defense ever to pull conclusions from, but I do think that there was more to work with here. What are some more things that we've seen here that kind of confirm our conclusions, and is there anything new to add to the list?
Well, I think the getting lost kind of umbrella encapsulates the target priority, positioning, which I know are my weaknesses for sure. I just, I know I should be going high ground, but then I justify it in my internal dialogue because my team is elsewhere or something.
Right.
So,
well, the idea is at least try, right? Like, if I were to go high ground here, how would the fight go? That should be the question.
Yeah.
Not because you'll always find a way to justify it, but it doesn't mean that you shouldn't try it. So for me, it's like definitely taking those times between fights to consider where should I go. Not necessarily high ground, but where should I position? Is there a corner? Is there cover? Can I push up to this position? Can I help this guy? That needs to be in your internal dialogue between fights, constantly. Between fights when you have time to, right?
Yeah.
And then go ahead.
In fact, I typically find myself shot calling especially if I'm playing Ryan. I definitely shot call so I can get the team up there if I need to.
Or whoever wants to be up there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And then the second thing for me, I think is a little bit what you already said, but it's just generally staying aware of what you need to be aware of in terms of the enemy team. Who do I need to be pressuring? Who do I need to be protecting my team versus, and then prioritizing those targets. I wouldn't say that you were purposefully swinging on D.Va because you love D.Va and just like hitting her with your hammer. I think a lot of us you just weren't paying attention to where that Reaper was. You just weren't paying attention to where that Bastion was, And that's the problem, right? The problem is not, stop swinging on D.Va. The problem is you need to be taking more time to actually look for, again, the two things, right? Who is most dangerous, who is most killable, and then make your decision based off of that. You kind of see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And if you do that, you will do things like not swing on D.Va here, not swing on D.Va on second point, track this Bastion flank. You might not be able to track where he is, but you're going to be like, where is this guy? I want to hit him, right? Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? Right? And if you're in shot calling here, you could even call that. I don't see Bastion. I don't know where he is, right? Because if you can't answer those questions, then you're not going to be able to play Reinhardt properly. You're just going to literally turn off your brain and swing your hammer. That's not what we want. We want smart, calculated aggression. We want, what is the pattern? You know what I'm saying? We don't want Sesame Street aggression. Okay. You have any questions?
It's been awesome. I've had a
Yeah, this is a lot of fun. I love Reinhardt. And I hope that you get something out of this. And remember, a lot of what we talked about before the review was as if not more important about the training schedule, the quick play. Remember the 4 things that I wanted you to experiment with as well. Those are all things that I think you should toy with about improving your overall quality of play, not just this is how to play Reinhardt better for right now. That's just such a small percentage. That's why we do those questions, right? To be able to help big picture stuff. All right. If you do have any questions, message me. If you have an additional timestamp that you'd look at in the future, shoot me the replay code and the timestamp, and I will take a quick look at it, and I'll shoot you some text feedback later. But cheers, mate. Good job, and keep in touch, and let me know how this stuff goes.
Will do. Thanks, man.
You're very welcome. Keep in touch. See ya. All right, that was Falco Tank, the Reinhardt Extraordinaire. That was fun, guys. I miss coaching this hero. Let's take a look at this Ramattra gameplay and Ramattra abilities. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna start by watching the trailer again, and then we're gonna actually look at the ability breakdown. I've not looked at the ability breakdown just yet.
I do not fight for myself. I never have.
Wait a second. It sounds similar to... Oh, Hang on a second. You guys ever played Knights of the Old Republic 2? Maybe I'm misremembering.
So, they are known qualities. So, they are known qualities. I also use them on board my ship for defense. But that in itself means little. I assure you, I am as flesh and blood as you are. I simply find personal meetings distasteful. I do not fight for myself. I never have. Together, we are unstoppable.
So staff. Ooh, clankety clank.
Not my victory, it is ours.
Summonable barrier at specific points in time, very similar to Sigma Shield in terms of where you can place it wherever you want, right? Probably will be low HP and strength. I'd probably guess anywhere from 300 to 500 HP. That would be my guess. Probably closer to 400, 500 would be my guess. And probably brief in duration as well. So I would guess anywhere from 2 to 3 seconds. This is what I don't understand. I don't know what this does. I don't know what this is. It seems like a beam damage, like a beam. I don't know. Or it's like a life suction force.
You are finished.
Definitely seems like a melee-oriented hero. Summonable barrier. Beam, tracking. You notice the tracking, right? He's tracking with the beam. Throws out a necrotic orb. I've another term for that right now. And it creates an AoE spot-oriented... This reminds me a lot of like MMO effects, like ground-targeted effects. And it does damage, I guess. There's the necrotic, there's like the oriented thing, then there's the block ability.
Let us punish them.
And then he transitions into Big Man.
Come, let us punish them.
And Big Boy does punches. He doesn't do his little beams, and their impact, bang, bang. They seem to have like a slight range to them, but not a very long range, maybe 10 meters. And then he can block in this ability as well, or this transformation. There's the range, right? Bang. It seems some bang. Bang. Goes through barriers, guys. Through barriers. Right? Yes, has to be. Transition back to normal.
Fight with me. Fight until you fall.
Transitions Big Boy. Block.
I will break before I yield.
Big Orb. And then Walking Orb. So he is a walking death suction. So as he walks, it's death as he walks. It's not like an orb that he throws, he is death. Very similar to his placement ground targeted thing, but it's instead his entire aura. And wait. Punching, punching, punching. That's through barriers, y'all. I'm pretty sure that has to be through barriers, right? There's this ground targeted thingy.
This is not cruelty. This is justice.
All right, so it's going to be really hard for me to say. Okay, so I won't even go as far to say what his playstyle is going to be like and where he's going to fit in the meta. I won't go that far because I will need to actually see actual gameplay, like they did with Kiriko. But I will take a little bit. Yeah, please link, Senor. He is Moira Orb, like Reverse Transcendence. Oh, that's a good catch. Yeah, I think the Discord Orb tie-in is definitely something worth pointing out. Void Accelerator. So this is the beam. Fire a stream of projectiles in a fixed pattern. Like Lucio? Like Lucio, maybe? That's got to be like Lucio. You guys know what I'm saying, right? Did we see that? I feel like we didn't see that. I'm sorry, there's nothing coming out of his... Oh, you saw it, just briefly. They're tiny though. You see this? You guys see this? This little purplies? Little juicers? They're like he's like throwing like throwing gravel. Look, he's throwing gravel. He's actually aiming at the floor there. You guys see that? His aim isn't as good. Yeah, okay. So it's like gravel. It's tiny little projectiles. So it's not like Lucio exactly. Okay? It's like a beam weapon, really. But it's a beam weapon that's not hit scan. That's very interesting. Do we have any beam weapons that are not hit scan? I don't know. Mayfreeze, yes, Mayfreeze. Good point. Yes, Mayfreeze is technically a beam, but looks to be longer range than Mayfreeze. So it's like a beam projectile. So unusual, very unusual. What did the range? It doesn't say anything. Like I said, this is why we have to wait for actual gameplay, y'all, because it's impossible for me to say. But we can at least start to form some ideas. Pummel, punch forward, creating a wave of energy with every swing. So basically, a wave of energy implies that it's AoE, area of effect, so it can hit multiple targets, but I imagine it will be fixed in location. So if you have enemies that are clumped up together, it will probably hit all of them through shields. And because it's a wave of energy, that implies that it's going to go through shields. That kind of confirms what we were expecting. But then obviously if they're spread out, then you can hit the individual targets. Again, if it's a wave of energy, we're expecting like a medium to short range, just like his Void Accelerator. Maybe a little bit longer than Void Accelerator, I don't really know. Create a barrier at the targeted location. Again, we can ballpark estimate it's going to be 450 to 500, 400 to 500, maybe 600, but I would be surprised if it was much heavier than that. The nature of having a summonable shield is probably more about rather the frequency and the flexibility and less about the actual strength of the shield itself. Okay, significantly reduces damage taken from front and reduces movement speed. So it's like Doomfist block, but there's no punishment for charging it. Just allows him to take space easier. Okay, let's ignore the ultimate for just a second. Transform into Nemesis form. This is really clunkily, I'm no offense, that this is really clumsily structured. It's really confusing to read. Transforms into Nemesis form, changing your attacks and gaining bonus armor. But we already know that. We already saw the changed attack. So you can no longer summon, so the barrier becomes the block, and the Void Accelerator becomes the pummel. Nemesis form also gains you bonus armor, similarly to how you would fortify as Orisa, where you don't actually have the fortify bonus, but you gain that boost of HP. All right, it's like or a Junker Queen shout, but it's actual armor. So that's interesting to point out that armor is more powerful, not just HP. Okay, fire a nano ball, which explodes when it hits the ground, spreading a damaging field. Affected enemies are also slowed and pulled downward. So very similar to Sojourn E. Area of effect, but it's a ground targeted rather than focal point targeted, and pulled downward. That's interesting, like literally pull it down. Nemesis, and then the ultimate, create a spreading swarm of nanobots that creep out in front of you, dealing damage and reducing enemy damage. Reducing enemy damage dealt by 50%. Whoa, boy. Couple of questions for me are going to be about before we form opinions. What's the range of Void Accelerator? What's the range and frequency of creating a bear at the target location? What's the range of Ravenous Vortex? What's the range of Pummel? How much slower does he move with movement speed? Because what we're seeing here is honestly, this feels a lot like Junker Queen, where you have a very strong melee ranged hero with a ultimate / ability that rewards people for playing with Ramattra. For example, the ability to, even just the ultimate, the Annihilation, right? That's going to reward people for playing around Ramattra and punish enemies that try to come near Ramattra. So my concern is that with the way Overwatch 2 has molded, mobility is king. Mobility and range are king. And short range heroes that don't have mobility have struggled to some extent more than they did in Overwatch 1. So I'm, like Junker Queen, I'm concerned that depending on the range and accessibility of his various options, how tanky of a hero are we going to be having here? Because you're going to need to overtune the tankiness to an extent to make it work versus the mobile and dynamic playstyle in Overwatch 2. This seems fun and cool, but I'm curious to see how it's going to actually play out. Like Annihilation, you need people to play with you, but that's not as much of a case in Overwatch 2. I'm glad to hear it, Fido. Thank you. Let's look at the linked developer diary here, and then hopefully we get some gameplay next week. Actual gameplay. Building a revolutionary and inside look at Ramattra with the hero design team. Fido, put him in Ask Spilo if you can, and then I will probably get to Ask Spilo this coming Tuesday. I have to end stream soon though, because I have my sister's birthday party that I have to leave for soon. I have to end stream a little bit early. So I'm going to get through this as quickly as I can, then I probably have to call. I don't even think I have time for Ask Spilo today. It's in Discord, !Discord, in the Ask Spilo channel. And then if you aren't here on the stream, when I answer Ask Spilo, I always post a timestamp afterwards so you can go back and watch your question being answered. Oh, wait, it has its own set of primary and secondary fires? Whoa. Void Accelerated primary fire seems like a stream of fast-moving nanites, which we saw as the little dots here, right, guys? The nanite particles have a travel speed that requires you to lead your targets, but there's no damage fall-off. Okay, so maybe it goes infinitely. The fact that he clarifies there's no damage fall-off means that we have literal infinite damage beam. That's wild, okay? This gives Ramattra a longer range option, but there's an advantage to using this weapon close range. Lehman elaborates on this. If you're close to enemies and you put your staff right in their face, you're going to do quite a bit of damage, especially if you're hitting crits. I don't understand what this means. I don't know if he's just saying it's easier, or Lehman is... Or Tess Lehman. If Tess is saying that it's easier to hit the shots because you're close range, because you're hitting crits, or if there's some sort of damage component that, but they said there's no damage fall off, so I assume it's just because it's easier to hit crits with. Yeah, okay. The secondary ability, okay, so the secondary ability on the staff, I assume, is Void Barrier. A temporary high health barrier. High health. Temporary though, high health barrier that a Ramattra can place in a target location. So now that we're hearing high health, I'm expecting this number. So 650 to 800 would be my guess. Place in a targeted location. I was expecting lower than that, but now I'm not so sure. When you activate the barrier, you'll see a line on the floor to confirm where you want to place the barrier in its range, like Maywall. Use it defensively to protect teams and cut off enemies, or use it offensively to create space and close a gap between you and the other team. Okay, no surprises there. I'm not super happy. I hope that it's not super high health. I would love to see if it was like something that you could frequently put up more frequently, but it was very breakable. Like I legitimately wouldn't mind if we literally had like a 250 HP barrier, but you had it on like an 8-second cooldown or something like that, or 2, where it's like almost like a Zarya bubble in terms of its fragility, but it can be used dynamically and in a lot of different ways for bursts of value. Temporary implies to me 3 to 4 seconds, probably 5 seconds tops. Everything about this form enables you to close the gap between enemies. You can use this form tactically, move in on enemies, activate. Okay, so the good news that we're reading about his dynamics here is this has a lot more range than I thought. And I don't know if this is good news for the health of the game, but this being high health also means that we have more ranged options for Ramattra. So you're talking about a hero that has more range than I anticipated. Okay, that's why we don't hesitate to rushing to conclusions. I'm not going to be hesitating to rushing to conclusions even after the gameplay trailer comes out, and I'm not going to be hesitating to rushing to conclusions, or I'm not going to be rushing to conclusions even after the hero is released. You have to be very careful about hot takes, but I will say this is encouraging to me that this actually has good range. Right, that's what we need for heroes in Overwatch 2 to prevent them from being Junker Queen 2.0s, where we have the hero doesn't have good range and so then has an overwhelmingly overpowered brawl hero, and then that completely ruins Overwatch 2's meta, and then you have to nerf her into the ground, and then now she's trash or overpowered. It's very hard to find it in between. This hero maybe is a little bit more dynamic than that. Okay. Nemesis form. This pose is... the look is cool, but the pose is also like, hey. Because a giant protector or threat, depending on your perspective. He bulks up with extra armor. Again, the word armor, implying armor, the damage reduction from armor, right? Not just HP. And he forms 2 extra arms, which serve as weapons in Nemesis form. Pummel launches a short-range power wave. Again, wave, no shields. With each swing, it's a piercing attack. Oh! They'll all get hit. We talked about this. We predicted this. All AoE, all within a clump. Bang, 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 bang. It's really nice for playing around things like Reinhardt, Shield, Diva's Defense Matrix, or Winston Bubble. So it goes through everything. Everything. Sigma shift, we assume. The only thing that I think that... Okay, here's a question for you. I feel like Zarya barriers should block it, though. I feel like that should work. Because a Winston, everything that pierces in Overwatch doesn't pierce Zarya bubble, right? So theoretically, I feel like Zarya should still be good. Like Reinhammer. Yeah, that's probably an excellent guess. It's just like a melee attack is what it is. It's a melee attack. Any sort of melee attack goes through shields and barriers. Well, actually, I don't know if technically a melee goes through a shield. I don't think, but it goes through Winston Bubble, for example. I think Winston Bubble. I don't know. You guys get what I'm talking about. It's kind of difficult to dance in and out of bubble when Pummel goes straight through it, regardless. For block, Ramattra throws his big tank arms in front of his face. I think reducing damage from the front. It's also effective at reducing the damage of Hanzo's dragon and molten core types surrounding him. Okay, so it's not just from the front, but it's also anything that it's not directionally specific, right? To Hanzo's just you're in the form. I think it would probably also work on Sojourn's E as well. There's no cooldown on the block. You can use it whenever you want by weaving it in and out between your attacks. The trade-off is you can't punch while using it and it slows you down. Very interesting. Very interesting. That's for sure going to be something that people complain about, but I think we'll have to see how it's actually executed before we have these rant and raves, because that's a very interesting dynamic, and I do like that there's the ability to weave in and out of your attacks. I think that's theoretically, it might reduce the skill ceiling, the skill of the hero, because you can do it whatever you want, but it does make it could make it very mechanically demanding to actually be able to react to blocking bursts of relevant damage and then being able to actually do damage on non-bursts. Interesting. Nemesis is an 8-second ability with an 8-second cooldown, so you're not permanently in this form. At most, you have a 50% uptime. I assume that means that you cannot leave it whenever you want. So in other words, once you're locked in, you are locked in. Ravenous Vortex is a ball of nanites that slows, grounds, and damages enemies. The ability is a projectile that bounces off of walls, enemies, and... Oh, wait. The grounding part I think we missed. See Echo? Watch Echo. See that? I thought she was dying. It was kind of confusing perspective, but she's not dying. She actually just gets sucked down like a magnet. Okay? Bounces off of walls, enemies, and slippery slopes like roofs. It must hit the floor to activate. Okay. Once activated, it opens up this big area that will slow enemies, pull them to the ground, and deal damage. Okay. Can also use this ability defensively to keep people of your teammates or lock down certain areas. I mean, it could be definitely used as a counter to Lucio compositions, where, again, Lucio compositions function as a unit a lot of the time, or more as a unit than other comps, and it slows them down, pulls them down. You could ground a Lucio, you could slow it down. Again, very much so like Sojourn E. This is how Sojourn E is used versus rush or dive compositions, to create a difficult thing for them to rush through, create a ball of pain, basically. So it could be good versus that. Annihilation is a special ultimate, but there's something else going on at the same time. Annihilation is... It's similar to Transcendence in the sense, as you guys were saying, this is it creates a big ring around him. Annihilation has beams that latch onto enemies within range, depleting their health, like Moira's Necrotic Grasp. Enemies need to be within Ultimate's range or Ramatra's line of sight, but there's also another caveat to this ability. It doesn't end, says Layman. If the beam is attached to an enemy, it pauses the duration of the ultimate. The ultimate itself is... If the beam is attached to an enemy, it pauses the duration of the ultimate. I'm not sure I understand this part. It pauses the duration of the ultimate? The ultimate itself is relatively short, but if it's attached to someone, it's not ending. So in other words, basically you go boom, and the ultimate's over, but then the beams connect and they stay connected. Oh, so the way to end the ultimate is to make sure that he's not... So as long as he is able to connect a beam to you, the ultimate continues. And as soon as the beam breaks, maybe there's like a 2-second window where beam, nothing, oh, it's over, you wasted it. But if it connects and it stays within Ramatra's area of effect, then it's over. And it keeps going, and it keeps going, and it keeps going, and it keeps going, and it keeps going. Got it. And then you could combo that, I assume, with your E to slow enemies down to keep them within beam. Yeah. While these tethered or these tethers are attached to enemies, Rosh has the benefits from Nemesis form. He gives the enemies 2 options with this ultimate: either eliminate him or move. Interesting. $600 HP plus armor. Yeah, good catch. I actually didn't see that. So 600 HP including armor. Block, right click, then you guys can see it here. And that's actually a barrier, and shift is the block. Wait, can he block? I thought he wasn't supposed to be able to block in this form. I feel like he's not supposed to be able to block in this form. So that's maybe a UI bug. Because he's clearly in his wizard form here, because he's got 450 HP. Yeah, I see that. Shift is Nemesis form. Oh, you go to Nemesis form. Oh, that's so confusing. So you shift to swap to Nemesis form. And then while you're in Nemesis form, the shift isn't the block. The block is your right click, I guess. I don't know. Yeah. See? Yeah. The shift is the form itself. Got it. I'm an idiot. I'm a little slow. You guys have to bear with me. Okay. Oh man, this one definitely does not feel as obvious as Kiriko. Kiriko was like low-hanging fruit. Oh, dive hero, ridiculous mobility, good range, obvious dive support. This one is not as obvious. We'll have to look at some more gameplay. I'm going to be interested to see like how relevant his range is, how that affects his dynamics. We'll have to see. Definitely interesting to see.